Man, welcome back to Man Down Sports. We was go talk about the All-Star snubs and the All-Star reserves and All-Star weekend and all that stuff first, but then as soon as right before we went live, we got that breaking news of Kyrie Irving. If you haven't heard already, it's breaking news that Kyrie Irving requested a trade. And I kind of put that in quotes because I don't know if he actually requested a trade or if he actually said, if you're not going to extend me and your plan is to trade me anyway, do it now rather than later. It was reported by the Athletic first, and then Shams came in and tweeted it out. That's how everybody got the news, and then I think ESPN just had Woj come on and kind of say the same thing. So it appears that Kyrie Irving is requesting a trade before the deadline. And we don't know why, and we don't know if that's 100% true. I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think because he's always stressed that he wanted to be in Brooklyn, right? He's always said that. He's always said he wanted a max extension, right? He didn't get one this summer, right? Now, the way he's playing, the way he's locked in, he probably thought that they could approach the negotiating tables again. However, it's the same guy, Sean Marks, that's there. And it's the reason why Kevin Durant wanted Stephen Nash and Sean Marks fired, because I think they were the catalyst behind not giving Kyrie Irving the extension for whatever reason. Maybe they wanted him to prove something to them first, or whatever the case may be. But Steve Nash is gone, but Sean Marks is still there. And just as late as last week, Kyrie Irving's agent, I think, put out there that he's ready for an extension, and the ball is in the Brooklyn Nets court, right? So that's the latest that we heard before what we heard today. And today we're hearing after Kyrie Irving tweeted some cryptic tweet about being around people that appreciate the hard work you put in and all of this stuff. That was kind of what his tweet was earlier this morning. And then we come out with this sham report saying he's requested a trade. So I don't know, man. What's y'all thoughts on it?
Get your money, black man. I got two words for you. Rich Paul. He got something to do with it somewhere. Watch it unfold. Hey, and if I'm not mistaken, that Russell Westbrook money is now dead.
What you mean?
The Lakers already paid most of it for this season.
Okay.
So.
And it's an expiring contract. I mean,
this is not the last year of Westbrook's contract, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is?
He opted in. He opted in for the same. Him, Kyrie both opted in for this last year.
And what was his, 46?
About 46, 47.
So the Lakers probably on the hook for 43 of it.
I guarantee you that's one trade that's not going to happen, though.
You never know, man. Brooklyn has done stranger things, man. Like, seriously, man. You can tell it's more going on with Brooklyn than it is about just winning basketball games. Like they're trying
has nothing to do with basketball.
Yeah, it might have a little bit to do with it, like, but for the most part, when it comes to Kyrie, it's not just about basketball. It's about something more than basketball. So I mean, they can say they don't trust him to show up the games, but I mean, I don't think that the track record really supports that. I mean, he got a 11-year career, and
what made me think about go ahead, finish your thought. My bad.
Yeah, what I was saying is he got an 11-year career, and from the time he was in Cleveland and the time he was in Boston, the only time he missed was due to injury, and he's played through a lot of injuries. Like, he's been on the court with mask on his face, protecting his broken eye socket or his broken nose on several occasions. He's wore that mask in Cleveland. He's wore that mask in Boston. He left Cleveland to go to Boston while playing on a knee that needed surgery, but he played through it, or he tried to get through that season, but halfway through the season, they said, man, you got to have this surgery. So he's been playing hurt, and he's missed games for injury. Now, that was Cleveland and Boston. As far as Cleveland and Boston, there's no track record of him missing time for anything other than the injury. Fast forward to getting to Brooklyn, The only thing he missed was, okay, he took time off for the January 6th thing. He needed a mental health break, and he didn't get vaccinated. And for you to use that as your reasoning behind why you feel like you can't trust him to show up to work, I just don't understand how that is. Like, everyone's missing time for personal reasons throughout the league.
Oh yeah, for sure. I like to look at look deeper than what they're telling us. And ESPN, if you go to their website right now, they had an article that was posted earlier this morning about the Lakers out of the trade market, and that they're just gonna take the team that they are and go toward the playoffs. Then there was another article about LeBron James talking about how, even though this milestone is important, making the playoffs is more important. Winning is a more important thing. They started dropping those seeds maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, right when Anthony Davis first was getting ready to come back. They're like, I'm tired of setting records and losing efforts or whatever.
Right.
So it continues to. They're not talking. It's not a story because nothing else is happening. You know, sometimes they make stories when it's a slow news day. But like you can talk about the Super Bowl. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on. The NHL All-Star game is this week. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on where that doesn't really have to be the story.
Well, so let's say this is 100% true. What you think is going on behind the scenes that all of a sudden make Kyrie Irving, in the midst of him performing the way he is, in the midst of no one actually been on his back about anything serious and stuff like that, and about to go into the All-Star break, and coming out of the All-Star break, you probably get KD back, and then y'all can go on a run. What happened as far as them trying to negotiate with the Brooklyn Nets that all of a sudden made him say,
he probably went in there and asked for, hey, listen, look what I've done, man. Look, I'm here every day. I'm playing my heart out. I'm hooping at a high level. I've cracked everybody's top 10 list of MVP candidates and all of that. Let's go ahead and get this extension done, man, because that's one less thing I had to worry about. And they probably said, we'll talk about it after the season. And he's like, well, if that's what the road we're gonna take, then I can tell you I'm not gonna be here after the season. And I was like, no, you will. And he was like, nah, better yet, trade me before the trade deadline. Like, I think it went that way. Like I think it was a conversation that went left, and then they tried to call his bluff, and he was like, I'm gonna show you I'm not playing. In fact, we ain't gotta wait till the end of the season. And if you wait till the end of the season, I promise you, I'm gonna be a free agent and I'm not coming back.
Yeah, I think it's the lack of an extension and the lack of urgency in getting the deal done with the extension. I mean, Kyrie has been balling. He was balling when KD was healthy, and he stepped it up another notch when KD went out. Named the All-Star starter, playing at a potential MVP level. I don't understand what you got the money. I don't understand what the problem is. What about Kyrie hasn't garnered him the respect of a max extension?
Well, I mean, it's personal. It's personal. It's got to be that's why KD wanted Marks and Steve Nash gone, man, because he know he had taken it way too personal.
Outside of the personal stuff, they could be taking the wait and see approach off of his. He has, even going back to Duke, an extensive injury history. Like, he's not as durable as a lot of guys. You know what I mean?
He hasn't missed a single game for injury since he's been a net.
He has his first season, and then he hurt his ankle in the playoffs against the Bucks and stuff like that. I mean, he's missed some time with injury. But look, this is my thing. That really don't make sense, because if being injured stops you from getting a max contract,
why do they get one?
But no, not even going to another person. If you're saying, Kyrie, we want you on the team, but we don't want to give you max money because you have an injury issue, but what are you telling you want to give him? 1 year deals, 2 year deals? Why? Because you think that a 2 year deal is going to stop me from getting hurt? It can't be from injury because the contract don't affect the injury at all.
Oh no, for sure.
If I'm on your team and you're relying on me as a superstar and you're paying me like a superstar, I still have the same possibility of getting injured whether I have a max or not.
Well, let me ask you this. What if the conversation, the way that I theorized it, happened that way? But what if he went to them because he's gotten an opinion of whatever, and they told him, hey, you're gonna need surgery after the season, and he doesn't want to go into a surgery without a loan contract. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's so much that we don't know.
There's a lot we don't know. This is my guess though, and then I open it up for LaCour. This is my guess. I don't think he's personally talking to Marks or Josiah, right? His agent may be talking to him, but at the same time, if his agent was talking to them directly, they wouldn't have had to go in the media to drop certain things they did last week when they said that he's committed and he's just waiting for Brooklyn to start negotiations, right? So maybe they're trying to talk to Sean Marks, from outside of his office. They're trying to use the media to talk to him, right? However, maybe the first thing that they heard from Sean Marks and Josiah was that we don't want to give him a max. Right. So, and I think that was what they was kind of saying last summer. We're not going to give Kyrie a max. So they're probably still saying we're not giving you a max. So what are you trying to give him? 1 year deals. I said a long time ago, I think Sean Marks is getting his GM advice from what people like Stephen A. Smith is saying in the media. And Stephen A. Smith, even now, the last thing he said about extending Kyrie Irving was he deserves $50 million, but he don't deserve a max. Give him a 1 year deal. He's still saying that. Even when he say good things about Kyrie, Kyrie is balling. He's unreal. He deserves his money if he will show up. But I would just give it to him with 1 year deals. That's what he's saying. So I think Sean Marks is still on that same thing. We just want to give you a 1 year deal or 2 year deal, and that's it. We're not going to give you no max.
Maybe. Yeah. So, I mean, because I'm just thinking about how because it kind of came out the blue. But what if Durant told him, hey man, because this is his last year in the contract too, ain't it?
He got extended. He got extended.
He probably got 3 more years.
No, he got a max.
Yeah, so I think he got 3 years left on it.
Did he get that max last year or this year?
Year before.
He got it last year. He got it
year before last. Year before last.
Okay.
And maybe Durant told him, man, I'm requesting the trade after the season. Like maybe he's still not. They were playing good ball. Like I don't get it. I don't know.
Maybe it's because like the first leg of that whole thing was taken care of. They got rid of Steve Nash, but like it's been known that Katie also said Sean Marks need to go too. But I don't know, man. If you willing to give a man $50 million a year on 1 year deals every year, that's gonna add up to $200 million, which is around the max anyway for 4 years.
Yeah, they just really drunk that Kool-Aid that they was putting out in the media, man. That lets me know I can't have a dude lead my team that's getting his advice from TV. I just can't, man. I can't, man. Even if Sean Marks is not listening to Stephen A. One thing I do know for a fact is Stephen A. and Sean Marks talk. So not only is Stephen A. saying this stuff on TV, I can imagine what he's saying on the phone to Sean Marks. He's already publicly said he and Sean Marks talk often through text or phone calls, right? And especially during that whole vaccine mandate. So it was like Stephen A. was telling him, you should do X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. We got your back. We're going to support you in the media. He's not going to have a leg to stand on. We're going to strip him down in the media real good, and you're going to get whatever you want. So it's almost like a tag team of the media and Brooklyn Nets front office on how they're going to deal with Kyrie, right? And that's what he's got going up against him. So he was never going to get what he wanted. He was always going to get what Brooklyn Nets wanted him to have, and the media was going to help facilitate that. That's how I see it. Because who else would come up with a bright idea? Like everything Stephen A. Smith has said, Sean Marks has did. Stephen A. said, don't give in to him not getting a mandate. You should suspend him. And then Sean Marks came out and suspended him. And then he said, don't give him the max this summer, and they didn't give him the max this summer.
Yeah.
He said give him 1 year deals, and now it appears that we're not gonna give you no max. We want you on 1 year deals, maybe 2 year deals.
I think you got it backwards. Possibly. I think instead of him telling Stephen A. telling him what to do, what if he telling Stephen A. what he gonna do? So put this out first.
It could be that.
You giving Sean Marks too much mental credit.
Nah, I think he's more mentally sound than Stephen A. actually having real power.
Oh no, Stephen A. definitely got power. It's not his power though. It's the power of the people who hire him. But you know, he definitely got power because
again, he doesn't have real power.
No, not real power. No,
he doesn't have real power. He
don't have real power.
So I don't think that they would listen to him more so than listen to
but they would use him.
Yeah. So you know, the organization telling Stephen A, hey, spend this and this is what we're gonna do in a week and a half. So go ahead and spend this.
Of course.
So I think that's more likely than Stephen A saying you should do this and then they do it. They're like, nah, nigga, you should shut up and let me tell you what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we don't know. Only thing we do know is that it appears to be on the same wavelength, and I want to know how they're on the same wavelength.
Mr. Trump would probably say collusion.
Yeah, for sure. There's a little bit of collusion there, right? You know, it's got to be. It's got to be. You can't. I mean, you just can't tell a person like me in public that you talk to the GM, and all this stuff that you spewing out in the public seems to, garner some type of
manifestation.
Exactly. Right. A person like me, I'm observant, just like a lot of people are, they observe things, man. I can't look at that and not, and unsee it. I can't look at that and be like, oh, that's just a coincidence. I can't do it. But nonetheless, I mean, it appears he requested a trade.
And he should. But and it could have been that. He could have just been like, yo, you actually be talking to Stephen A. Smith. He don't like me. I don't like him. Nah, I need to go to an organization that's not going to talk to him.
I tell you, man, Sean Marks I'm telling you, Sean Marks is not it, man. I'm telling you, it's a reason why Kevin Durant said Marks and Nash got to go. Like people not digging into that enough. Why did it have to be Marks and Nash? I understand Nash from the standpoint that they don't think that he was coaching the team well enough. He wasn't preparing the team well enough, and he couldn't manage the personalities well enough, right? So that's one thing from a coaching standpoint. But why did Marks have to go? Chris, why did Marks also have to go in your opinion?
He don't know how to GM.
But that it's got to mean something more than that. It's obvious he don't know how to GM. But why did KD say, in order for me to stay here, Marks and Nash has to go? Why?
I feel like most GMs have the sense that when you have a superstar or an otherworldly talent on the level of KD, right? More than likely, the decisions you make are like 60-40, like 60% you and your people and 40% you take or maybe even 50-50, but your star has input in things that happen. And I feel like Sean Marks didn't abide by that unspoken rule when you have a superstar. I feel like Kevin Durant was like, okay, well, you got me. Maybe we bring this person, complement my game, this person for defense, this person. And Sean Marks is like, I hear you, but I'm gonna go this way, or I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna spend the money how I see fit. instead of listening to the ideas, because who knows how to build a team and who works better with who than the person that is trying to play with them, or who has played with those people before, or who
Right.
knows people's game and how it complements their game, or how it complements the game of the people on the team. If you don't listen to that, then you just GM a team for the sake of GM a team. You're not trying to build, you're not trying to win. I think it's because probably that right there, that Sean Marks is not really listening or catering to the ideas that KD is bringing to the table.
I think there's a lot of that. I mean, because if you just look at it on the court and how it translates to the court, this is going into 3 years straight where Sean Marks have purposely put together a team that's too small for Boston, too small for Philly, and too small for Milwaukee. And them are the top 3 teams in the East. They're even too small for Chicago. Right? So you put together a team looking at just one thing that you wanted to do on defense. We want to be able to switch all 5 positions on the screens. And they've been doing it for 3 years, switching. And I sat and watched Nick Claxton switch on Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown for 4 straight games, for 4 straight quarters, and get absolutely destroyed. Then I watched them switch and have Kevin Durant posting up with Embiid or Al Horford, or having little Nick Claxton. So every time they play Boston or Milwaukee or Philly, every screen creates a mismatch, whether it's Nick Claxton guarding elite player on the perimeter like Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, or Kevin Durant guarding a huge post player like Al Horford or Joel Embiid, or even Giannis. He got switched on Giannis a couple of times in the post. It just doesn't work. And then you had Aldridge last year. You had Aldridge, Blake Griffin, and Andre Drummond that Nash would not even put on the game, only because they wanted to switch every screen. And the only reason why they wanted to switch every screen because they seen Golden State doing it with Draymond Green and Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson and Iguodala. But whenever they played a team who had an elite center, they had a big center that they can throw out there. They had Looney. They had Zaza Pachulia. They had West. They had post players that could always be thrown out there when a big post player had a mismatch. They didn't always rely on a skinny dude like Claxton, Kevin Durant trying to guard these big dudes, man. It's just dumb, man. So, like, you just seen them lose about 40 points to Boston the other night. And everything I'm saying was manifested in that game. They switched every screen and they got 8 up every time. You got Seth Curry trying to guard Jaylen Brown. You got Kyrie trying to guard Tatum. It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work, man. So I don't know, man.
Didn't miss from the perimeter.
Yeah, I mean, the Magnum was on. The Magnum was on for sure. The Magnus was on for sure.
They hit the first 8 threes in a row before they missed the 3, and then I think they only missed like maybe 2 field goals total on that streak that they blew the doors open in the first quarter.
Put it this way: if they would have only counted the threes and the free throws that Boston hit and counted none of the 2s, it still would have been a close game. Like, seriously, the Brooklyn Nets only outscored them by 8 points if you counted none of Boston's 2s, just counted their free throws and threes, and it was a close game. It would have went down to the wire. It would have went to the wire. Yeah, it would have went to the wire.
That is a snub that I didn't think about.
All right, man. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the All-Star stuff, man. Yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate what's going on with Brooklyn, man. To be honest with you, I hope it's not 100% true. I hope it was just. Be honest, this is what I think. Because it doesn't strike me odd that Joe Tsai would try to leak something to the media in order to gain leverage, because he did it with KD when KD went in and had a private meeting with him. No one was supposed to know that Kevin Durant requested a trade. He didn't come out and leak it to the media, but Joe Tsai did. And whatever this private conversation was between Kyrie Irving and Sean Marks maybe, or Joe Tsai maybe, I think they also leaked that to the media in order to gain leverage as well, because they know the media is going to tear Kyrie up about this, and that's going to put more leverage on Brooklyn's side. So I think what really probably happened is he was saying if y'all don't want to extend me, then it sounds like y'all want to trade me this summer or something like that, or trade me whenever. But I'd rather be traded now, and it probably sounds like I'm requesting a trade, but that's just him trying to negotiate. So we'll see, man. I don't know if Kevin Durant go have somebody or Kyrie Irving go come out and speak about this, or he's gonna tweet about it, or they go ask him this at the press conference during the game. Who knows? I know they're going to talk about it a lot just during this All-Star break. So we'll see. We'll see how they go. But anyway, man.
Be done before the All-Star break.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's right. All-Star is what, February 9th?
Mm-hmm.
And the deadline is when?
Next Thursday, the
9th. The deadline is the 9th. The All-Star is the week after that.
Okay. Interesting.
18, 19, something like that.
All right. Nonetheless, though, the reserves, the All-Star starters and the reserves are complete and has been announced. And there seems to be a lot of snubs. But let's talk about the reserves that did make it. Let's start with the West, and then we'll talk about what we think about that. Who was the reserves for the West?
So for the West, it was Paul George, Shai Gilgeous, Jaren Jackson Jr., Damian Lillard, Lauri Markkanen, Ja Morant, and Domantas Sabonis.
I got a problem with the Jaren Jackson Jr. selection.
Really?
Right. I think so for me, All-Star, I got a couple of rules, right, that I like to see take place, right? If you are a team that have multiple All-Stars on it, the only way I think it's justified is if your team is top 3 in their conference. So I think right now in the West, the top 3 is Denver,
Memphis, and
Memphis done lost 7 straight. They can't be number 2.
They didn't lose 7 straight. I think they lost 4 straight.
Hold on, let me pull it up. No, it's Denver.
It's Denver, Memphis, and Sacramento, 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, Memphis still number 2. Okay, so Denver, Memphis, Sacramento, right? So if any team out West should have multiple All-Stars, definitely I'm fine with Denver having multiple All-Stars. They're number 1 in the West, right? So Jokic being voted in by the fans, I would want to see the coaches give Jamal Murray the nod if his numbers supported it, right?
Right.
Versus you going and giving Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson the nod, because I think Jamal Murray deserved it a little more than Jaren Jackson. Honestly, Jaren Jackson is not even the number 2 option on his team. He's like number 3 option. To be honest with you, I think it's Morant, and then it's the other wing players, Bang or
Bang. I think Bang probably. I think if he's dealing with just Memphis, I think Bang probably should have got it over Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, but I
do agree with. I totally forgot about De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox been hooping, and Sacramento. Yeah. Domantas Sabonis is the only one for the. And it's crazy they picked Sabonis over De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, I would have went De'Aaron Fox, but they're also trying to get certain positions in there as well. So it's more crowded for the guards to get in, because out West you got a guard, you got Jamal Murray, you got Ja Morant, you got De'Aaron Fox, you got Luka, you got Paul George, you got Edwards in Minnesota, you got Devin Booker, you got Dame Lillard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Shai Gilgeous. That's a lot of freaking wing players, and most of them point guards.
That positionless basketball strikes again.
So they didn't have a lot of big men in the West to go through. You had Jokic, you had Jaren Jackson Jr., you had Sabonis, and then of course Karl-Anthony Towns probably wasn't an option because of the games he missed. But as far as big men, then you had Zion,
Lauri Markkanen, right?
Yeah, and then Anthony Davis. Like it was only a handful of big men to choose from. Now, I wouldn't have overlooked Anthony Davis for Sabonis or Jaren Jackson Jr., to be honest with you. So my thing for the West, for the reserves, I would have went Anthony Davis. I would have went De'Aaron Fox, and I would have not chosen Jaren Jackson Jr. or Sabonis.
I'm leaving AD off. I'm adding De'Aaron, and I don't know why Paul George is on there. To be honest with you, I'm taking Paul George off.
Why are you taking Paul George off?
Missed too many games.
How many games did he miss?
He missed. I think he's got about maybe 5 or 7 less games missed than Kawhi because they missed a lot of time together. They didn't even start the season together.
So for that same reason, you'll leave Devin Booker off because he missed games?
Yeah. Same reason I'm leaving AD off. AD missed too many games.
So what's too many games? Tell me what's too many games. How many? So let's say if the halfway mark is perfectly 41, right? 41 games, halfway mark. How many of those games should a player have to play in order to be eligible for All-Star?
You can't miss more than 15 games.
You can't miss more than 15 games.
Yeah.
Out of the 41.
Yeah. So this is what I do. I would say that in a month's time, how many games does a team usually play? Right. And let's say that's 10. Let's say they normally play 10 games a month. Which it might be more than that, but who cares? Just for simple purposes. If you miss a month's worth of games in the first half, you shouldn't be eligible.
Okay, so here we go with Paul George. He's played 38 games. He's averaging 23 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists.
38 out of a possible what to this point?
30. According to Basketball Reference, if I'm looking at this wrong, he's played. He had. I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. It said he didn't miss no games.
No, Paul George definitely is missing games.
Okay.
I'm not checking for him, so I'm not sure. But I know he.
How many games?
Pull it up. Maybe I'm tripping.
How many? Let's see. What's 29 plus 26? That's definitely more than 38.
Yeah.
55 games the Clippers have played. He's only played 38. So what's that? That's 18 games that he missed. Is my math correct? 38, 50, 30, 55? Hold on. 17. He missed 17 games.
So you saying that's too much to be an All-Star? 17 games.
I see I got myself in a situation because then you're gonna pull up Kevin Durant.
Because my question now is, all right, for the people that have voted in as starters.
Listen,
is it a different rule?
Well, so they already said Adam Silver is going to select the people. So if Zion can't go and KD can't go by the All-Star break, Adam Silver picks the people to take those 2 spots. But I understand why KD is selected. But I can also understand people who say he shouldn't be there because of. But you got to think about it, right? So before he got hurt, and in the way he got hurt as well, that was out of his control. But before he got hurt, he had only missed 1 game. He had played all those. Paul George started the season hurt, came in, played a couple games, lower management or whatever the case you want to say. AD has been on and off hurt. Zion has been on and off hurt. But KD's injury is just it just happened. Boom, 1 injury. I feel like that is a little bit better.
Yeah, I think it's harder to do it like that. For me, if you got 2 players that you need a tiebreaker for, then that's when the games will come into play for me. If one player has played all but 2 games and the other one has missed 15, then the tiebreaker goes to the guy who's played more. For me, it's got to make sense. However, I'm gonna bend that rule a little bit when it comes to these guys like KD, LeBron, Steph, the obvious guys that need to be in the All-Star game. Like they're All-Star every year. They're gonna be an All-Star until they retire.
Right.
Those are guys you just can't you can't snub them unless they really fall off, right? But the rest of these guys, hey man, tiebreaker goes to the guy who's embodied the
Who's a better
all-star.
player? Like,
well, it can't be who the better player is, because sometimes that better player didn't perform better. Sometimes you out, like James Harden's situation. He might be a better player than Tyrese Halliburton.
Nah, maybe not anymore. But all I'm saying is this right here, man. Listen, Tyler Huntley made the Pro Bowl.
Look, I don't want to talk about the Pro Bowl thing.
No. Because it's the same stuff, bro. It's the same stuff.
Wait. Huntley, not the quarterback, from the backup.
Yes, because Joe Burrow got hurt, Josh Allen got hurt, Patrick Mahomes is in the Super Bowl, and Tua is in concussion protocol. So it's the reason why Derek Carr, Trevor Lawrence, and Tyler Huntley are in is because those are the 5th, 6th, and 7th alternates to replace the first 4 guys.
Oh well, they didn't make it then. They didn't make it then. The system's still good. The other guys couldn't go.
Which is why
you had 4 guys ahead of them. I'm fine with that. They didn't really make it. They didn't really make it. They just alternates.
We've had conversations about this before, where it's like Pro Bowl nods don't really matter. It's all pro that matters.
Sure.
And that in the NFL, in the NBA, you're kind of getting to the point now where all stars don't matter. It's all about the all NBA teams. And
well, anytime you allow it to be a popularity contest, because back in the day, I'm sure they wasn't fan vote.
How did they do it back in the day? That's a good question.
They had,
I think it was only the coaches and
media.
Nah, I don't think the media was. I think it was coaches and
players, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I think the fan and the media vote came in later. I gotta look that up though. Hold on, I don't know.
I don't even think it would be the players, because look how many players hated each other back in the day. You think Mike is voting for Isaiah?
Mike don't have to vote for Isaiah like Magic would. You know what I'm saying? Craig Elo would. You know what I'm saying? So it would average out. But like right now, fandom, you get big market guys or big name guys who's gonna be voted in just because of who they play for or how they play. Like, as long as Curry's in the league, even if he didn't play at all, he would make the All-Star team.
No, he wouldn't make it.
If Curry,
he would still get votes, but he wouldn't make it.
Listen, if Curry did not suit up a game, he would be voted an All-Star starter.
Yeah, he probably would.
There would be criteria. I think there's criteria to go against that though. Like,
okay, so here's an article on it, right? For the first 24 NBA All-Star games from 1951 to 1974, a panel of sports writers and sportscasters were responsible for choosing each conference's starting 5 and the 3 bench players. In 1975, NBA All-Star fan voting was introduced. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
And then starting in 2016, 2017, the very first time NBA players and media joined the fans in supporting or in selecting starting lineups. Fans accounted for 50% of the vote, while all current NBA players and panel of basketball media accounted for 25% each.
So hold on, time out.
1975.
So what was they doing? Dialing one in the area code. Like, how the hell was they voting?
They probably was getting them all in the room together. Yeah, they was doing it the old-fashioned way, like we vote for the presidency. You had to come to the cast your vote, baby.
That's 1975. That's crazy. Fan vote.
Man, hey, the more you know, right? But
learn something new every day.
Fan vote is trash, yo. Like, especially fans now. Like,
I think it's trash now because Chet Holmgren got some votes.
Well, Jay, we had this conversation 100 times. We have different fans around the sport now. Remember, only people who played the sport really was fans of the sport back in the day. But that's not enough money, right? So you need people who never played basketball to be fans so they can get their money. And how you gonna draw a crowd of people who never played basketball? You have to provide other things, drama, entertainment. Hey man, I know for basketball purists, they like to see all phases of the game, post and defense. But for these other people, we got to give them just more scoring. So let's take away post game and defense and offer that to them. So we got fans around the sport who don't know the sport.
For
That's
sure.
why the fan votes suck now.
Yeah, it's rough.
I think if at the time of All-Star your team is under 500, you don't even get a representative.
I feel like that rule should be implemented, but then you would eliminate a lot of
like
people.
who who would it eliminate this year?
You would have to eliminate LeBron.
That might be
which would send.
Well, he got the fan vote though. I'm talking about when it comes to the coaches, and the media picking the reserve. Yeah, picking the reserves, right? The rule apply for that. Because if the fan vote gets you automatically as a starter, all right, that's the fan. The fan has spoke. That's what they want to see. That's good, and you should cater to the fans in that sense because we're telling you what we want to see, right? So yeah, you get in that way. But if it comes down to the coaches and the players,
DeMar DeRozan, he's the only one on this list. Oh, and maybe SGA. Let me see.
On the East,
so
on the
SGA
East,
and DeMar DeRozan are both 24 and 27 on their respective teams. They're both 24 and 27.
So basically on the East, right? DeMar DeRozan would have been replaced probably by Jalen Brunson from New York. And
Jalen Brunson over James Harden?
Yes.
Okay.
And because in my opinion, Jalen Brunson is operating in the number one spot, and I got to give credit to the number one of the squad. Philly, their number one is Joel Embiid, not Harden.
Okay.
Right. So actually that New York Knicks spot should have been Jalen Brunson and not Julius Randle's. And then Trae Young should have also got in over someone. So
they're at 500, 26 and 26.
Yeah. And Trae Young hasn't had any fall off.
So what? Trae Young over Tyrese Halliburton?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you what, because I haven't really paid attention to the Bucks. Has Jrue Holiday done enough to be an all-star?
He's a 3 or 4, so
is Chris Middleton back? Because I can understand if Jrue Holiday
Middleton is back, but he came back for like 2 games and had to go out again because he wasn't quite right. And he came back again and like last when they played last night, he wasn't even playing in the fourth quarter really against who was they playing? Kawhi now. Yeah, Middleton was on the bench, man, just watching. He's been that bad. So the number 2 for Milwaukee has been Jrue Holiday. And I'm cool because Boston got 2 guys in.
You wouldn't say Lopez was the number 2?
No, it's definitely Jrue.
Yeah.
It's definitely Jrue.
If it ain't Chris, it's Jrue.
Yeah, Jrue starts and finishes games. Lopez is you might play him late one game, and the next game the lineup might not justify him being out there. They might have to go small and have Giannis at 5. You know what I mean?
That's what I hate to like. Never mind. The NBA is a wonderful product.
but if we go by that rule, Chris, if we start accounting in for the record and accounting who's the catalyst for the team, who's the number 1, who's the number 2, it'll look a little bit different, right? So Boston, I'm cool with them getting 2 guys in. Milwaukee, maybe. All right, so Jrue Holiday and Giannis, I got it. All right, but down to Philly, just Joel Embiid. Dang, but the Brooklyn Nets, they got 2 in as well.
I was about to say, so do you take out KD or Kyrie because what? Brooklyn is 4, and I'm guessing Philly is 3rd or 2nd?
Philly's 3rd, Brooklyn's 4.
It's Boston.
Nah, you can't
Milwaukee,
really
Philly and Brooklyn, right? But
I don't think you can really do the number of people by team by where they sit. I think because
you would get into this situation where it's like, okay,
you got to account. You got to account for what you account for.
But Jay, what I'm saying is you can use it as a rule of thumb, but you also have to put logic on it.
Let's say you got a team like the Lakers.
Okay.
All right. No matter what their record is, some days LeBron may have to lead the team. And if AD is healthy, you can put the team on his back and still win. Now,
Yeah,
you still got to account for injuries, this, that, and the third, or whatever. Either day, at any given day, either one of them could be a number one. You know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? So the same with Durant and Kyrie. But some teams don't have a guy like, even if you got a better record, let's say Denver. Denver only has one number one. Everybody else is the twos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, just like how lineup switch depending on style of or who you're going against. I think who's going to be the number one guy in teams with two true number one guys would switch. So I don't think that you can say, hey, well, you're in fourth and he's in second. Well, they may be in second, but there's not another number one there.
Yeah, and that's when the logic will come in and overrule what the rule of thumb is. Like the rule of thumb is this we can kind of loosely use this as a standard until there's a better standard, and the better standard being what you just said. Like it's obvious that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are both number ones, but just by injury's sake, their team is at the number 4 spot. So if I'm looking at Celtics, Bucks, Philly, and Brooklyn and figure out, hey man, we can't give all those teams 2 all-stars. Which teams really earned it? Which one who would make sense to be snubbed? And for me, I think Kyrie has done more heavy lifting than what James Harden has done. Kyrie has played an extensive amount of games as a number one and performed well. Whereas James Harden, we haven't seen him play as a number one and perform well for an extensive amount of time, or Drew Holiday,
and
or Jaylen Brown.
And the other thing that you got to think about is usually the teams that have 2 number ones because of salary cap and things like that. Like there's no number 2s, there's no number 3s. Everybody else is just 4s and 5s. You know what I'm saying? Which may not be conducive to winning.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's Brooklyn's situation right now. 2 1s and a bunch of 5s.
Or this guy can lead us. But if neither one of these guys are on, we shit. Now you get a team like Boston. If Tatum is off and Brown, who's not, I think he's like a 2A. Like he's not a number one yet, but he could be a number one. But if either one of them are off, Boston can still play good because the GM set that team up to be a team.
Yeah, they're solidly built.
So I don't think that winning has anything. So after just going through whatever, I don't think you can even take in consideration records at all, because winning is more team wise and all-star is more individual.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. Did De'Aaron Fox, let's just stay with the West, did De'Aaron Fox, Anthony Davis, Devin Booker, and give me another guy that felt like they got snubbed?
BI? No injury, too many games missed for that. I feel like BI or CJ.
I mean, it ain't just the amount of games, it's when. Like when the voting was going on, he wasn't playing. You know what I mean? So like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I missed the first 15 games and then I balled out, and then while the voting was going on, I was still playing. But it was another guy who started the season, but he missed the same 15 games. It just happened to be during the voting. Like it makes sense, man. So like BI, like he probably didn't get much votes because we didn't have anything to go off memory off. I mean, he was out doing the voting.
What about
so
CJ?
I wouldn't say him, but for AD and Devin Booker and De'Aaron Fox, did they get snubbed, Jay?
No.
All right, give me the reason for each guy why they didn't get snubbed.
Because if there are 12 spots and 15 people who deserve to be in those 12 spots, 3 people not gonna make it. It's not really a snub.
And why you think why you think the reasoning for like people who voted and the coaches and the players, why not vote in Booker, Anthony Davis, and De'Aaron Fox?
Well, Booker missed a lot of games, and so did AD. And De'Aaron Fox played for the Kings, so no one's watching him. It's not really a snub. It ain't where you been, it's where you at.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Chris, anybody in the West get snubbed?
De'Aaron Fox, and
he should be requesting a trade because if he do those same things for the Clippers or Lakers or just anybody else.
And he got his team at number 3, but they at least gave an all-star nod to somebody from the Kings. But just by the position that Fox play, it's too many guards out there in the West, man. I mean, you can't get the all-star nod at point guard when you got point guards like Morant, Lillard, Luka, and Steph. That's 4 point guard at your position. How do you get the nod?
And no matter, you could even play lights out. Like again, so Curry's gonna get the fan vote. So now,
yeah. And Luka. So that's 2.
Vote.
That's 2 already gone.
Because the media loves Steph.
Yeah, Steph and Luka is gonna be the starters for another 4 or 5 years from that.
All right. So now after that, now you're competing with the rest of the front courts.
So Damian, SGA, Ja Morant.
But you got to add shooting guards too, because it's just front court and back court.
So then CJ.
So you're competing with everybody else, and there's only like maybe 4 roster spots. You have to make a case by your play that you're better than these guys. And so they actually is like, we'll take another point guard, but we'd rather have some shooting guards. You know what I'm saying? Like when they're constructing a team, it like there is more than just raw numbers sitting there.
You know what, Jay? Now that you say that, because although De'Aaron Fox might be balling out of his mind, what is he doing better than, just for instance, SGA and Damian Lillard?
Winning.
Yeah, but winning isn't an attribute to All-Star.
Yeah,
it's team
as we see.
It should be.
No,
it's a tiebreaker.
It can't be because
if it was a tiebreaker, then De'Aaron Fox would be in.
Remember all those.
Hold on.
Let's go back. Remember when the Lakers ain't have anything but Kobe?
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't win games with Smush Parker.
He did though. He won games. He made the playoffs with them.
Yeah, but there was some years where he didn't make the playoffs with them.
Yeah, but like I said, the winning games is a tiebreaker. What shooting guard in the West was even a tie with Kobe? So the wins never came into play. Like if it was another Kobe that played for Portland, and Portland was winning and the Lakers weren't, but Kobe had the same numbers, which one you putting in?
The Kobe and Portland is winning.
Yeah, the tiebreaker goes to the win. So when it comes to what you just said with De'Aaron Fox and SGA, are they even a tie in order for you to give Fox the nod because he has the wins? No, I think SGA's performance was above and beyond what Fox's was. I think SGA really outperformed Fox.
Right. So
it's not a tie.
But
no, I'm making the case.
Go back to this. Fox has a team, and what's your boy name? Sabonis.
Yeah.
So some of what Fox could probably do is getting Sabonis is getting off.
Of course.
Who SGA got helping? SGA is selling. He's selling popcorn. That man cleaning bathrooms. If it's in the Thunder building, he doing it.
And he got some game winners under his belts, and he got some big games under his belts. You know what I mean? So he got more stuff to put him above Fox, where it's not a tie.
Well, what I'm saying is because of the way his team is constructed, he don't have to split the baby. He can literally just go off every night.
Sure. Yeah,
average some good numbers and he gonna make it.
and Fox, he got to defer because Sabonis' game is good enough where if you're not making him happy and he decides to go somewhere else, now your franchise is back in the toilet.
They also using Sabonis like Jokic a little bit, where not where he's bringing the ball up court, but he's on the perimeter making passes from the big man position a lot. You know what I mean? So that's something different he's doing with Sacramento that he wasn't really doing in Indiana.
Who's the 1 and 2 in Sacramento? Something happened to your mic. Oh, we lost Mayo. Jay, what you think? Who's the 1 and 2 in Sacramento?
I would still say that it's Fox is the one.
I feel like for it to switch, Sabonis would have to do this because this is only his first year in Sacramento.
It's hard unless you are a talent like Embiid, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be a big man, even with Shaq and Kobe. Kobe was the one. Like you got to be at guard level almost to be the one between a big man and a guard.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to be at guard level, and then the guard can't be. The guard has to be not that good. Like
Shaq was the one in Orlando, then, wasn't he?
That was in the area of post play. Now, it's a guards league right now.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, Embiid wouldn't be the one in Philly if we had Houston James Harden.
Yeah.
If Houston James Harden was in Philly, then James Harden would be the one. Like,
and Embiid would be requesting a trade.
He would He would play with it. He would play with it. Pause.
Here's the numbers, Jay.
Because he would actually have better numbers. And be playing off of Harden, pause, would have better numbers than it is now.
Well, because he's rebounding all of James Harden's misses?
Huh?
Because he's rebounding all of James Harden's misses?
And when you start double teaming Harden, and that all he got to do is cut to the basket, and he does that really well.
So here's the numbers. Sabonis is actually getting 19 points a game, 7 assists, and 12 rebounds. De'Aaron Fox from the point guard position is actually getting 24 points a game, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. So and Sabonis have played 48 games. Fox have played 47 games. You tell me who the number one is without seeing how they run their offense.
Fox.
It appeared to be Fox.
Listen, why the heck does my big man have more assists per game than my guard?
But I told you how they run that. If you see Fox getting 24 points, then that lets you know he's taking a lot of shots. He's taking 18 field goals a game, right? And so he's a scoring point guard. And like I told you, they're using Sabonis like Jokic is being used in Denver, where he's making a lot of plays from the center position.
I was about to say, crash the paint, kick it up.
Yeah, man, he's on the perimeter. He's making passes, and he can pass. He can pass just as good as his dad could. You know what I mean? So he deserving of All-Star. But if I had to pick one of them, I would have picked whoever the number one is, which is Fox. But they couldn't do that because they already had too many point guards.
Wait a minute. Arbenz is his daddy.
Yeah.
You think Sabonis is just a common last name?
Hey, when you from where they from,
it might be like Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because let's see.
If Arbenz ain't had them bad feet, Portland would have a chip.
So what? How many? So who's the starters for the West? Is as far as guards, it's Steph and who else? Luka, right? So if we go in just guards, it's Steph, Luka. Because who is LeBron, Zion? Okay, yeah. So Steph, Luka, Paul George is considered a shooting guard. So that's 3 guards. SGA, that's 4. Damian Lillard, that's 5. Ja Morant, that's 6.
A lot of guards. They couldn't.
That's
They couldn't.
6
They could.
guards.
They couldn't take Fox.
So I mean,
I hate to say it, but
Paul George is there mostly because you had to have a Clipper.
And look, and think about but look, think about how crazy this is going to be next year, because if Booker didn't get hurt, he would have had to been in the conversation as well.
Oh, he would have bumped SGA probably.
No, he would have bumped Paul George.
Oh yeah, that too.
Shoot, they ain't even they ain't gonna get no legends drink the CP Thrizzle.
Nah,
well, CP ain't done enough.
No, he hasn't,
and he got hurt too.
No, but you know, the commission he can put a legend in there.
They're not gonna do what the MLB did last year. They're not on that level yet.
You can always tell.
No, the NBA was the first to do that with Magic. Magic played that All-Star game. That man didn't even play the whole season.
Oh yeah.
When was the last time they did that in the NBA?
Magic.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Magic.
Magic.
This is.
You can say MJ didn't earn it when he was with the Wizards.
Tim Duncan.
You think Duncan, not MJ?
Not. They did it recently. It was Tim Duncan and
Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll do it for a legend, but they don't feel like this is Chris Paul's last year.
No, they should.
I was trying to be nice.
That man might as well be a State Farm agent.
Oh man! Hey, but look, you can always tell who they speak of very highly, who go get them All-Star nods. They've been talking about SGA and Tyrese Halliburton since the beginning of the season. They've been like, oh my God, these guys. So it didn't matter what they did. Tyrese Halliburton got hurt, and the Pacers just started dropping games, right? So like, there's really no logical reason for him to actually still be the All-Star, except for the fact they was very high on them early on, and so that's crazy. They would have. I think the coaches and the media would have voted for Tyrese over Kyrie if Kyrie wouldn't have gotten the fan vote, for sure.
I think you still got to include SGA just because of the fact that he's the reason that they're still sniffing around the play-in tournament. Like, without SGA, they're a lottery team easily.
Yeah.
With SGA, they probably still gonna be a lottery team.
That award is going to go to Houston.
The lottery team is listen. It was first 14 is lottery, right?
First 3.
Look, what are you talking about?
You said lottery.
Yeah,
it's 3 teams. It's the 3. Well, it used to be the 3 worst teams. Now it goes by a percentage, but it's only 3 teams that are lottery.
The lottery is the first 14 picks, Chris.
Oh, you said first 14. What? Really?
Yeah.
Why is it always?
They have a whole lottery and people you find out where you pick.
Why is 14 the lottery?
Because
where am I getting 3 from?
All of those people get a chance, like an actual chance to get the number 1 pick. They actually go to a lottery, but you get the amount of balls you get is based off of how bad your team finishes.
Yeah, so where am I getting 3 from?
Because you're not look. So when Jay said a lottery, he's talking about the top picks, which picks are lottery picks, and it's 14. Right now, what you're thinking about is which team's going to get the most balls and all that stuff. Like, definitely the worst 3 teams is going to get the higher percentage of balls in the mix. And that's probably what you're thinking about. I don't know. You mixed it up.
That boy said it ain't but 3 teams to get big. It's a whole lottery.
Yeah.
I don't think half the damn league should be in the lottery. I think that's kind of crazy. Half the league.
Yeah.
Well, they don't make the playoffs. Those teams don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, if you don't make the playoffs, you actually have a shot. And I really believe hot button. I really believe the NFL should adapt the lottery to prevent teams from tanking. Well, to discourage teams from tanking.
supposedly that's why David Stern did it. But if you listen to certain,
he did it so the Knicks could get Ewing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why he did.
He created a whole system just so Sacramento wouldn't get Ewing, because Sacramento didn't even have an arena. They was playing in like a warehouse for their home game.
Shit.
And he was like, they're like, he was on record in the newspaper saying there's no way that a number one pick should play his home games in a warehouse. And then shortly after that, he created the lottery, and then the Knicks, which happens to be his favorite team, and which happened to be what people consider the mecca of basketball, and a lot of money generated, end up getting the number one pick. And they did the same thing with Anthony Davis when they was trying to sell the Hornets, and nobody wouldn't take the Hornets because we was like, man, you got a superstar in Chris Paul that's trying to get traded. Why would I buy a team for this amount of money when I'm not even gonna be able to sell my home tickets? And then they vetoed the Chris Paul trade, and then they figured out, oh, you know what? Anthony Davis is going to be a can't miss generational talent. So, okay, all right, we'll go ahead and let him get traded. Then he went to the Clippers, and then on the night of the lottery, the guy who owned the New Orleans Saints was buying the Hornets. He showed up to the lottery, and as soon as he found out that they got the number one pick, then he signed on national TV the paperwork to buy the Hornets. And I was like, why did he wait after to sign it? Like it was out, in my opinion, it was like the commissioner told him, look, we're going to make sure you get this number one pick because you're losing CP3. We're going to give you another franchise player, because at that time the NBA owned the Hornets and they was trying to sell it. So if I'm buying it, I'm not buying no team that can't sell tickets. But if you convince me that I'm getting Anthony Davis, then I'll buy it. And I guarantee you that's probably what happened. You can't tell me that's not what happened.
The easiest thing to rig in sports is the lottery.
Or the NFL.
No, especially with I don't think anybody ever sees them actually pulling the balls out. Like that's all done behind closed doors.
Yeah, they started doing it behind closed doors like probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Really? I was just about to say, I do remember them having that little fucking that turn thing, and
yeah, but with the Knicks, there was a card that was bent.
Like, they had cards, yep, and envelopes.
Like you could even see it. Like there's going to
pick that one.
Yeah, go on a dumpster dive when we get off, Chris.
Yeah, because this is news to me.
You can't find it no more. The dude who made that yeah, the YouTube took it all down. The dude who made that documentary, I follow him on Twitter, and I DM him earlier this year. It was like, dude, I can't find your thing on YouTube no more. Where's that? And he said that they like they deleted all of it. They destroyed it. Like he said he don't even have it no more. It was like, I mean, it was like a whole crazy thing how he lost all that footage. He was like, I don't even have it no more. You know, even if I did, every time I put it up, they're gonna take it down. Wow. But that documentary was probably like 2 hours long, and he did a lot of research and got some footage that I ain't never seen before.
Yeah, I think you had told me about it.
Yeah.
Just talking about the lottery or just what?
No, it was talking about the NBA being rigged, period. It was called the greatest sports tragedy in history. Right. And it was centered around the Lakers, Shaq and Kobe, and how they was getting rigged outcomes of games. If you look at those Portland teams that was better than the Lakers, they was beating the brakes off of them. The Sacramento Kings team that was better than them with C-Webb. And it was another squad out west, but they really cheated really good, the Blazers and the Kings, for the Lakers to win. And it was obvious. He pointed out so much stuff, and then while he was pointing it out, he was like, let me start from the beginning. And he went all the way back to when David Stern first took over the league and when they was losing money every year. And he was like, this is how he generated it into a multi-billion-dollar industry by cheating. Oh man, boy, this stuff is crazy, man. But anyway,
I did not know. That's crazy.
Let's hit one more thing real quick. King James, man, he got like what 50, 60 something points left.
63 points.
63 points. That's a magic number, man. That's what Michael Jordan scored on the Celtics in the first playoff game. But 63 points left. He probably get that in 2 games.
They asked him last night, did he after that game 27? Did he have a 63 point game minimum?
He probably do.
That looked at the camera and said, yes. He looked at that camera and said, "Yes, I do."
Man,
and so what happened is it wasn't a nationally televised game, but ESPN Deuce, the Deuce is going to air the game tomorrow.
So I'm gonna tell you exactly what's going to happen. He is not going to hit it at that Pelicans game. He's not going to hit it tomorrow because it's not a home game. The Lakers are selling Thunder and I think Bucks tickets because those are the next 2 home games right after this Pelicans game. The most expensive ticket is like $92,000. He's gonna break it at one of those home games.
But even if he breaks it at the game, once I got your money, once I got your 92.
Yeah, but they're not gonna let him break that. Not in crypto.
I really hope he scores 65 the next game. I really do. And I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret, man. I'm really starting to like LeBron James more and more every year for some reason, man.
Hey, go get tested for COVID, man.
And, no, seriously, and that usually happens for me because I don't generally dislike or like players at all. What I dislike is the fan club around players and their delusion. So with LeBron James kind of not being in the conversation of a contender and all that stuff, it gives you it gives people like me a better opportunity to appreciate him because I don't have to deal with the delusional fans. You know what I mean? I don't have to deal with a person telling me, you know, I don't know, hey man, he scored 40. He's the GOAT. I mean, come on, man, just watch the game. You get what I'm saying? Now they're doing that for Luka, and now I have a different set of fans that I have to school on what real basketball is, right? And now that's that fan club. But LeBron has gotten quiet around him, and I can sit here and watch this dude game and really appreciate it, man, and enjoy all that stuff, man. So I'm looking forward to him breaking that record. But with that all being said, it's heating up the GOAT conversation again. And, you know, people like Kendrick Perkins are saying as soon as he break this record, he's the GOAT. What's y'all thoughts on it?
LeBron will never be the GOAT. And the fact that he has to go break a record that was previously thought to be unbreakable to be put further into the conversation just shows that he's not the GOAT.
Been the GOAT.
You said been the GOAT.
Yeah.
Shaq rap, Meshack, and been the GOAT.
or LeBron Edwards James been the GOAT.
That is not his middle name. His middle name is Ramon.
Ramon.
Like that.
Yeah, I told you that Ramon. And Jay don't believe me because his middle name Ramon, and he don't believe it. He thought I was joking. His middle name is
Ramon James.
Yeah.
It don't even
what kind
fit.
of person gives a kid Ramon as a middle name?
Hey, I heard the worst name in the world on some TV show last night. You heard of a man named Gregory, right?
Mm-hmm. Is that the show?
Have you ever heard of a man named Gregory?
He might be a twin. Maybe it's twins instead. They want to be Greg and Craig.
I said, man, I ain't never heard no Gregory before, man. Good Lord. Why did it sound so foreign when Gregory sound like it just slide off the tongue? But Gregory just, I mean, Greg and Craig don't sound bad, but Craig, what's wrong with Gregory?
I don't know. Gregory almost sound like thievery. Like it almost sound like something, like it's some foolishness going on.
The more he say it, man, the funnier he get, bro.
Hey man, here he come with that Gregory. Like it sounds like a action of some bullshit.
Yeah, like, it's like tomfoolery.
Yeah.
Here coming that Gregory, bro.
Don't bring that John Brown Gregory around.
Oh man. But Jay, you say he been the GOAT, man. How so?
Been the GOAT. So there are generational talents, and people, the GOAT should stand for greatest of all time, and I'm willing to say he's the GOAT small forward. I'm willing to say that Mike is the GOAT shooting guard. Uh, the way that basketball is played now, it's an entirely different sport that was played in the 90s. So
Facts.
to try to compare on paper with the eyeball test or whatever, to try to compare any of that stuff, it doesn't really work. And we've had a million GOAT debates. But after just sitting down and realizing it's almost like saying that take Dan Marino, right? He was setting phenomenal records at a time where people were running the ball. And now we're at a pass first league. A lot of his records are being challenged or broken. And it's almost diminishing what Dan Marino did in a time when wasn't nobody doing it.
Right.
So to compare Patrick Mahomes to Dan Marino isn't fair. But to compare Dan Marino to the people of his time, he's one of the greats of that time. Not great at winning, but he was one of the greats at that time. And so I think now with the style of play and everything, to go back to basketball, I think the style of play and everything like that, you really have to keep apples with apples and oranges with oranges. I think trying to compare and even transitionally, like even when you take a player like Bean, it wasn't the same era. Like Bean kind of was the bridge between the Jordan and LeBron era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I somewhat agree though, Jay. But I think it's I would rephrase it. I think the way the eras have changed, it makes it harder to compare stats. But I don't think it's hard to compare the player. Like right now, if I was to say, man, who's a better man, me or my dad? And then I couldn't take how much I make now and compare it to how much my dad made then, and then say I'm a better man, because statistically that's one thing. I would have to take some other things into account. I would have to, can you fix a flat? Can you fix a motor? Can you, things like that.
So what I'm saying is, again, when you're saying that, like the metrics are different, like what you said as far as stats, but even the eyeball test, like so you say, well, use an example, me or my dad. Your dad might have had a 6-pack, okay, and you might don't have one, but you have instead of just working on abs, you go to the gym and do full body whatever. So you're like you could run a marathon or a mini marathon.
I got the perfect thing for you though, Jay, because those things are kind of superficial to being a man. Like, hold on. When you pull a baby out of a woman's womb and you look at its genitalia, you know it's a boy.
For sure.
Right. So that is something that is very essential to being a man. If your daddy balls was chopped off, you already a better man than he was. He ain't got no nuts. He ain't got no thing, right? He can't enjoy sex. He can't procreate no more. His testosterone level is gonna be low. All this stuff, right? So you are already a better man. So when I say things are essential to basketball, if you play defense and offense better than me, there's no way I can be a better basketball player than you. So
again, that's not true, because that's not true because number one, let's say Jordan is a better defender than LeBron. Let's say that. Let's go with that.
Right.
Jordan played in a league where defense was a part of what the league was. LeBron plays in a league where we shun defense. Hey man, y'all listen. We ain't here playing on defense. We here where everybody, where there's 7 people averaging 30 points per game.
See, you making basketball synonymous with NBA, and it's not.
No.
Based on what the NBA does,
in the NBA. So we might not know how good of a defender LeBron can be because the era doesn't require playing defense.
So would you grade it like that though? Would you grade it on the curve like that?
I would definitely
you
grade
would on the curve.
You would have to.
I wouldn't grade on the curve, Jay.
Because think about it like this. If Jordan played in this era where the long ball is king, he would have shot 5,000 more 3-pointers, and he would have went in the lab and worked on his 3-ball. Paul.
It's possible.
It's not even possible. It is guaranteed.
I mean, what DeMar DeRozan didn't. That's what I'm saying. Like everybody's not doing
DeMar DeRozan ain't Jordan.
But he's still utilizing the mid-range game more than he's utilizing the three. Same with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler don't shoot a lot of threes. But look, let me say this, Jay.
Listen. So what I'm just talking about who Michael Jordan is and was as far as being a great. He would. So being at that level, they're playing in the NBA. It's a different NBA. So what I'm saying is you can't even look
which NBA was more challenging, because the more challenge actually produces the better product. So which NBA is more challenging, the one that doesn't allow defense or the one that does who enforces defense?
I think they are both challenging in different ways.
Which one is more challenging?
I would say that the 90s version of the NBA would be more challenging.
Okay, so which one is closer to pure basketball? Which one got the less baking soda in it? Which one is pure cocaine? Which one is close to 100% basketball, and which one is cut so many different times that it's something less?
Yeah, I would say the 90s basketball too.
All right, so the more challenging and the more pure product is going to produce the better product as far as players, in my opinion.
Not necessarily, because again, being able to adapt to where you're in. Like, listen, you could probably swim really, really well, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the ocean, but if you get in the baby pool, you're not going to swim that hard because you may skin your knee on the bottom of the pool. It's not deep enough for that. Where a simple walk would do it.
Sure, but if the ocean happens to be the NBA, then the 90s had sharks in it, and the sharks is defense. This era don't have sharks.
This era not even the ocean. Listen, I would say physically gifted and talented. The GOAT is LeBron, man. I listen, when it comes to making shoes, there's no one better, no athlete better than Michael Jordan. When it comes to playing ball against people who also had a lot of ball heads, there's no one better than Michael Jordan. When it comes to playing ball, period, me personally, I would say that if I had to start a franchise with one of the players, I would still probably choose Jordan. But when I'm telling you that when we're talking about greatness, I would say that LeBron is greater.
All right, so this is what I say. There's definitely a different definition for great and better. And what I can say for sure is I think Michael Jordan was the better basketball player. I think he was more complete offensively. I think LeBron recorded more stats by play style. Being a point forward, or, of course you're going to get more assists and things of that nature. So I think he was, and by being bigger, he's going to get slightly more rebounds as well. So he was a stat stuffer, and statistically, he filled the stat sheet more than Michael Jordan did. But as a complete player on offense, being able to score, being able to do everything, been able to shoot his free throws, been able to score on all levels of the floor, not having a weakness. That goes to MJ. And then also on the defensive end, been an elite defender. I think LeBron and Jordan both were elite defenders, but I think Jordan was an elite defender his whole career. And LeBron actually sagged off on defense a little bit because he was doing so much on offense. So I'm giving a nod offensively and defensively to MJ. Completeness to on offense to MJ and incompleteness to LeBron. So I could never put a complete player under an incomplete player, right? I couldn't go and in good conscience tell someone the best basketball player I've ever seen can't hit free throws, can't post up well, leads the league in all-time turnovers, lost 6 times in the final, can't shoot pull-up jump shots.
So I agree with just about everything you said except for lost 6 times in the finals. That doesn't matter.
Oh, bullshit.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Well, hold on. Let me finish and I'll let Chris go. But so I can't present that and say, like if we had an alien nation come down and we'll say, hey man, tell us about this sport basketball we hear so much about. Who's the greatest y'all had? And I come to them and be like, look, this guy lost 6 times in the finals. This guy couldn't shoot free throws. He couldn't post up. He didn't have good footwork. He needed super teams to get his first championship. He kept jumping ships to different squads to get to hand the stack his deck in order to compete and stuff like that. I couldn't say, hey, this is the best I've ever seen. I would present to them Michael Jordan and Kobe before I presented to them LeBron as the best I've ever seen play. It'll be Mike, it'll be Kobe, and then it'll be LeBron. I'll put LeBron at 3. I just recently put LeBron past Magic, Bird, and Kareem. I got LeBron 3 now, right? But I'm showing them MJ and Kobe first as a complete player. Now that's saying who the better player is. Now when you talk about what Jay said when he's talking about greater, then you're including more stuff into the conversation when you talk about greatness. And I think LeBron is greater than Kobe. He's not a better player than Kobe, but he's greater than Kobe. And but his greatness doesn't supersede Michael Jordan. So Michael Jordan is not only a better player, he's also greater than LeBron. And that's how I look at it. But that's just me.
So for me, the GOAT conversation will always and forever be open-ended. There will never be a definitive agreement on who is the GOAT. You're gonna have people say Mike, you're gonna have people say LeBron, you're gonna have people say Kobe, you're gonna have people say Kareem. So for me, I've come to terms with the fact that the GOAT is objective. It is to whoever you're talking to at that moment.
Subjective.
Subjective. However, you can't exclude finals record and say that does not matter. No, you can't. No, you cannot. No, you can't. Mike is 6 for 6. Kobe is 5 for 7. And LeBron is 4 for 100,000.
Don't forget Tim Duncan.
So hold on.
Timmy is what? 5 for 7 as well?
Let's go with this.
I think he's 5 for 6. 5 for 7. He might be 5 for 7. 5 for 7.
Because they lost to Miami and they lost to LA. So 5 for 7.
They never would have played LA in the finals.
I'm sorry. No. I just seen this the other day. Who did they? Oh no, they actually he might be 5 for 6 because they beat Cleveland. He might be 5 for 6.
So let me explain why the finals record doesn't matter.
Please, I want to hear this.
How many years did Kobe play in the league?
20.
So in the finals, he's 5 for 7.
You gonna say that he only made it 7 times in 20 years, and LeBron made it 11? Is that what you're gonna go with?
Absolutely.
That's garbage. If you can't, you can get to the dance all damn day, but if you can't win it, then what's the point?
What's the point if you don't get there? If you don't get there, then there's still no point. Again, here's the thing: winning championships starts at the GM level and goes down to a team level. That's a team stat. It doesn't count in individual greatness. It doesn't.
There are no trophies for second place, Jay. Either you win it
there
all
is.
or you win
Sure
nothing.
there is.
No, there isn't.
Sure there is.
No,
would you like to bet money?
If that's the case, then LeBron is the greatest second place player of all time.
Would you like to bet money?
Bet money on what? That there's a trophy for second place in the NBA?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a big banner that they hang that say Eastern Conference champions.
That's you want to consider that champions. Second place?
That is, if you're not NBA champions, then you're second place. If you go all the way to college basketball, there's trophies for fourth place. You get a banner for making the Final Four.
That's sad.
That's life.
That's sad.
If there was no trophies for second place, why would people get gold, silver, and bronze? So that they actually reward you for finishing third in life.
That's why they call them LeBrons.
So again, all I'm saying, LaCour, is winning championships is a team accomplishment.
Is important.
It is not. Listen. Dan Marino has never won a Super Bowl, and he's an all-time great. Period.
That's fine.
Yeah, LeBron is an all-time great too.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's not an all-time great. I'm just saying he's not
the only way championships would matter if you had a guy who played 10 years and was a champion 10 years. That's the only way I would give you a nod off a championship. Like every time he suited up, he won a championship.
So we talking about Bill Russell then?
No. Again, that would have to be a tiebreaker. Bill Russell's not close in anything else. So no, we're not talking about Bill Russell.
If I'm presenting you three guys. I'm not gonna tell you anything other than 6 for 6, 5 for 7, and 4 for 7. I mean, not 4 for 7. 4
for 10.
4 for 10. Which guy are you gonna take?
I'm not gonna take any one of those three guys off of that.
Hopefully not. Like that, and that's the problem we having in this conversation. People are just looking at what they can Google and just looking at stats or just looking at how many championships they run and saying which guys.
I'm not saying that it's the championship.
And I think the conversation starts on the court because that's the only thing that matters. The conversation starts on the court. If you put all these guys on the court and you evaluate them, which one are you evaluating to be the better player? Right. Yeah. So being the GOAT starts with who the better player is. If I'm a better player than you, you have to do a whole lot of heavy lifting and any other data point in order for me to overlook it.
When you speak a better player.
Wait, hold on. My fault. I just joined.
Now go ahead.
I just joined.
Welcome to the program.
What up, bro? I could have swore you said that Bill Russell was not close to MJ or whoever in like any measurement. Like he's not a better rebounder, defender, shot blocker. Far better, like leagues better.
No. Not individual. Not individual measurement. What I'm saying is, if you take Bill Russell, the player, and you take Kobe Bryant, you would take Kobe Bryant. Bill Russell would take Kobe Bryant. Bill Russell's mom would take Kobe Bryant.
Well, Phil Jackson took Bill Russell. At the end of Phil Jackson's career, after he retired, even though he's coached Shaq, MJ, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Kobe Bryant, you know what I'm saying? He still picked Bill Russell to start the team around.
Hold on, Aaron. You always have to when you hear players and coaches give nods to players like that, you always have to understand that people are going to give the highest praise to the people that came before them and to their peers. They're always going to do that. It's a respect thing. Right, you have to do those things. So you have to decipher when someone is giving a nod to a person because they're a legend and they deserved it, and when someone is slighting someone because of personal vendetta as well. You can't take everybody's word into consideration when you're talking about this.
But so if you're gonna look at it from that lens, you can't take anybody's word to measure anybody's greatness. Then
I wouldn't say it that way. I would say you have to be careful. You have to be careful of what people's personal gain is, and when people are just doing it just to be respectful to their people that came before them.
What bias would Phil Jackson have against the players who won him 11 championships in total?
I don't know what bias he would have, but I do know. I just said sometimes players and coaches are giving nods to the people that came before them out of respect. So for a respect thing, yeah, Phil Jackson would say that.
Phil Jackson couldn't take no Phil Jackson guy because it looks like you're tooting your own horn.
My boy.
What?
About damn time.
So he couldn't take no guy that ever played for him. Because
Phil Jackson played against Bill Russell. What are you talking about? He was there when Bill Russell was in the league.
What are you talking about? Did you hear what I just said?
You said he couldn't. You said he couldn't advocate for any one of his players.
For sure. If you ask me who's the best 17-year-old driver in America, and I tell you my son is.
Yeah.
Then it looks like I'm tooting my own horn.
That's different.
Put it this way, Jay.
Hold on.
Hold on, Aaron. Do you remember when Kenny Smith? Wait. Do you remember, Aaron? Do you remember when Kenny Smith was asked who his top 10 was, and he had LeBron at number 10, and he didn't even have Kobe in the top 10. Right. So am I going to look at Kenny Smith and be like, okay, I respect your list, but I still disagree. Just because Kenny Smith said it doesn't mean it's going to go into the pot of what I'm considering when I make my decision.
No, but
so
all right. Now I understand
when you ask Shaquille O'Neal, the most dominant big man we've ever seen, who's the best big man ever, that man says George Mikan.
No, he does not. What the hell? First of all, Shaquille O'Neal is not really that knowledgeable of the game, of the history of the game. He doesn't even know who Zamo Beatty is. You guys probably don't even know who that is either. But he said on national television, he didn't even know who Artis Gilmore was. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even know who Bob McAdoo was. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what does that have to do with him being dominant on the court?
I'm just saying, like, just because somebody is dominant on the court doesn't reflect their knowledge and history of the game, type shit. Like, you understand? Like, the thing is, I was responding to your point. You said that Phil Jackson would take Kobe or over Bill Russell. I'm saying, well, Phil Jackson said that.
I didn't say Phil Jackson. I said Bill Russell would take Bill Russell. You would take. I mean, Bill Russell. Would take Kobe.
That's what you said.
You would take Kobe, and Bill Russell's mom would take.
I don't. It depends on what I need for my team, and it depends.
So
you know what I'm saying? If I want 25 rebounds a game, 10 blocks a game, I want somebody who's not going to distort my offensive defense, who can guard 1 through 5. I might take Bill Russell. If I want a scorer who can ice the game at any given point, somebody who has that killer instinct, Bill Russell or Kobe have that killer instinct, but somebody who could score, put the team on their back on the offensive end, I'll take Kobe. It depends on what I need for my team. You shouldn't have to undermine another player's importance or impact just because you want to uplift somebody else. It doesn't make any sense. Bill Russell is just as impactful as Kobe, if not more impactful.
I didn't say he was.
Hold on. That's the point you wanted to make, Aaron, because I don't think nobody said that Bill Russell was.
The point that I was trying to make. He said that Bill Russell would pick Kobe, and he said Bill Russell's mom would pick Kobe, and I said, well, Phil Jackson, the person who coached Kobe, picked Bill Russell. That's all. That's the only point I made. Type shit. My initial point. Huh?
I said thanks for your point.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So
I said nothing wrong, in my opinion.
I want to speak to what you said earlier, Mel. You was like, if one player has this, and that makes another player have to do so much more. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing I'm saying with Mike. Mike he set the bar, and LeBron has to go above and beyond and do so much more stuff and I don't think he's done enough. I don't even think him breaking the record is gonna be enough.
My whole point of everything is that team accomplishments, when you're speaking on individual greatness, is secondary. Period. You could look at it.
Secondary to what? Secondary to what?
To individual accomplishments.
Wait. So Jay, I would say what's primary has to be what's primary to a basketball game. And the primary goal is to win. Like seriously, if the primary goal was whoever has the player with the most stats on it wins the game, then I would say that the individual stats is primary. But I could never put individual stats over winning.
When you're speaking about a person's greatness, okay. So again, if you played in a 14 and we're talking about pre 2000, right? Because shortly after 2000, I don't have the year right around my head, right in my head, where pretty much when you signed with a team, you was with that team for a long time. It was free agency wasn't a big deal and all of that.
All right.
If you play for if you play for a suck ass team with a suck ass GM, no matter how much you played, if they didn't give you any help, it wasn't conducive to winning.
That's fair.
Like what?
So now when you go to when you're having in the league now, if I don't like this GM, either y'all fire him or I'm gone. Like it's a whole new thing now. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Real Takes? I'm gonna drop the link, man, if you want to join, man.
So it's a whole new era. So what I'm saying is when you say, hey, they didn't win, they did this in the finals. Michael Jordan was 6 for 6 in the finals. Well, he played 15 years, so that was 7 years. He didn't make the finals, so that doesn't even count.
So hold on, Jay. Let me.
Oh, SB, you done changed your name on me. What's up, bro?
Jay, let me ask you a question, and I want you to answer these questions before you rebuttal or anything like that, right? LeBron won 4 championships, right?
Yeah.
Of those 4 championships, does that team win without LeBron?
No.
Jordan won 6 championships, right?
Yeah.
Do those teams win those 6 championships without Jordan?
No.
Kobe won 5 chips, right? Do any of those Lakers teams win those rings without Kobe?
No.
So at what you have to include those championships into individual success.
Let me ask you this. That was a pointless line of questioning.
No,
you were going to ask me what color collar my dog wears. Like that was a very pointless line of questioning.
Because you have to include championships in individual success if you are the catalyst for the reason why you won those championships in the first place.
Those teams won the championship without Pippen, or without B.J. Armstrong, or without John Paxson, or without Steve Kerr, or without
not Pippen, but all them other names you named, yeah, they probably would have. But without Jordan and Pippen,
or they probably wouldn't have. A team is constructed the way that it's constructed. Listen, if one thing goes wrong in a team, you don't know what it causes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So I mean,
because the whole team played together at a championship level and was better than every other team that year.
Mm.
That's all the championship means.
SB, what's up, man? Why you change your name, SB?
Oh no, that's a new podcast coming up. So it's like my TikTok been going crazy. So that was like a phrase I was saying. So now it's just like that's just the official name of the podcast. SB is just me. And then also I just kind of like I'm doing mainly sports, but since it's like real takes over fake debates, I can also like when it come out to like different realms and stuff, I can like bring it in too. So that's it. It's just more official name. That's it.
So real quick, man, we in here talking about LeBron breaking the record. Obviously, right? He gonna break Kareem's record in a couple of games, right?
Yeah.
Does that factor in to if he's considered the greatest of all time or not? Like, are we supposed to be factoring in longevity stats, or like, are we just judging the player as players and sometimes using stats to kind of support what our eyes is telling us? How do you look at it?
Okay, so from the point of the longevity thing, first, I think that should be considered anything because your best ability is to be available at the point blank period. That's why Kawhi Leonard is not as ranked as high as he should be because he has a resume of a top 15, top 10 player, but he don't play enough games where he got Andrew Wiggins have more points than him. But when we come to the LeBron standpoint, I feel like him breaking the record, if you don't have him as the GOAT now, him breaking the record is not going to make no difference for you at all. So if you didn't have him as a GOAT before then, it's not gonna make no difference because Kareem Ben had the record for I don't know how long. Nobody put Kareem and said he's the all-time scorer number one. It's always been Mike and LeBron. So now it's like because LeBron has a heavy fan base, people just want to overvalue the record, which is outstanding. I never thought I would have seen it in my lifetime. Somebody breaking the record. So I feel like the record don't mean that. So if you don't have LeBron as a GOAT today, him breaking the record on February, like, well, he probably gonna break it like this week, the 7th or something. Not gonna change your man.
All right, let me.
That's solid.
Let's look at where we are, right? And that's actually a really good answer. If you're looking at how scoring has went up and the trajectory of scoring in the NBA, it's actually fair to say that if somebody plays 16 years at a high level at the way they're scoring now, this record that LeBron just set,
not 16. Not 16, Jay, because LeBron about to play 3 more years. He
might play 5 more.
Yeah,
I'm just saying for what the point is now.
This record ain't never just once LeBron get it is a wrap. Lebron is.
I won't say that. I won't say no record is a wrap. After our generation of sports, every record been getting broke. Westbrook triple double, Curry with the threes.
I'm not gonna lie. The way the game is being played now, it's getting like more easier to play offense. So I feel like the score numbers is gonna get higher.
Yeah,
and higher.
It is, but these players are dropping like flies. Though we're not going to see no one put up this much points and also be able to play for 20 plus years and be a tank like LeBron.
Yep.
Look at Luka. He's probably the closest person that probably could do it, but he's missing 15 games.
You didn't even hear what he said already. They asked him like, "Would you play longer than LeBron?" He said, "No." I said, "After like 15 years, I'm going to my farm." You don't understand how the mental fortitude it takes to play that long. And LeBron playing great and put $1 million in your body every offseason. A lot of people are not going to be dedicated that much.
No.
So what's the record about 38,
38.
38. LeBron go get 41 before he retire.
So he probably get
41,000.
Jokic.
Is Jokic gonna play that long?
His body ain't gonna allow him to do it, man.
He looks better physically wise every year.
That man body look like a hamburger. Nah, ain't no way.
Trust me, the dude who gonna break that record, if it was to be broken, he not in the league right now. I can tell you, nobody in the league right now gonna break that record.
And look, it could have been KD, but KD done already had 3. He done had 4 years taken away from him. He had 2 whole seasons taken away from him from the foot and the Achilles, right? And then like the last 2 seasons, he done had games taken away from him for that knee. So yeah, KD out of the race now, man. He could have got it. He could have got it. Melo maybe if teams wasn't jerking him around, and he probably could have got close.
Let me give y'all some quick math. If you average 35, which is really tough, but the way scoring is going, if you average 35 a year and you only play 70 games, I'm giving you some injury in there. In 16 years, you'd have 39,200 points.
So who you see doing it?
You see how ridiculous that sound? Though?
Yeah, 35 and 70 games.
Have you seen the data though? Like the amount of 40-point, 30-point games.
It's crazy. It's climbing fast too, bro.
But I think that we just too projected on this. I think just this era at the moment is like that because if you go from the 80s to the 90s, the 80s was so fast paced and high scoring, but then went to the 90s, it was all low scoring. In the early 2000s, it was kind of low, high defensive. So it changes from so we don't necessarily know. It might go back to being a defensive game again. So we just going on what we living at the moment.
It's gonna have to because I think it's gonna turn. I think a lot of fans are getting turned off by what they're seeing. Yep. They're gonna have to go back to a throwback. It's almost like when Puff Daddy and Mace was in them shiny suits and DMX had to take it back to the streets. It's always up and down.
Yep.
So it's somebody like Shaq go be born and he go come in the league and they go force it to go back to
that. Yeah.
So would you say that LeBron's accomplishment is technically invalid then? If the league has gotten softer and offense has gotten easier?
No.
Like if he was playing in the 90s or the 2000s,
he'd do the same thing he doing, but might be worse.
You think he would have a total of 40,000 points by the after 20 years?
Yes.
From 1990 to 2000, whatever.
You asked about a bigger version of Michael Jordan.
Rookie year.
A bigger version of Michael Jordan.
Yes.
They do not play similar at all.
Yes, he does. He just has yes, bro. You got to understand. How did LeBron play when he first came into the league? He changed his game when he went to Miami. He had to be more of a playmaker. When LeBron first came to the league, he was on that Jordan type of a wave, being the first valid scorer. His shooting wasn't consistent, just like how Jordan was in the beginning of his career. But LeBron left and went to a team who valued him being more of a playmaker with the Miami Heat and running the floor. Jordan got Phil Jackson, and they ran the system of the triangle, so he had to get in his spots of the mid-range and be more of a scorer because he had a guy named Scottie Pippen next to him who was great at playmaking and defending, being the wing defender. So it's also about your roles in the system. LeBron just, every place he went, he was the guy in the system.
I'm not saying he wouldn't be dominant, but like we all agree that offense is easier in today's game, right? Comparative to the 90s and 2000s, right?
Yeah, it's
not necessarily. I mean,
they made it easy on purpose.
Less hand checking, you know what I'm saying? No three.
Yeah, they made it easy on purpose. Yeah,
no big man came in the paint. LeBron has an open lane every single time he drives to the paint.
No, I think that you can value that more for like people playing small than actually the gameplay, because honestly, in the 90s you couldn't play zone in the illegal defense, so you can add that to the fact that this year you can play the zone, so that can stop that. A lot of people don't do it. I just think what helps the game now with scoring is that they play small. So you got a guy like LeBron at 6'8". It looked like it's easy to get to the hole because they got a 6'9" center playing. It ain't the play style, because if more bigs could play, it wouldn't look as easy as we think it is.
Yeah, but the bigs can't play because they're not valued. You can't put a guy in the paint and have him clog the paint. Like Boban. Look, I'm gonna tell you how bad this NBA is, bro. back in the 90s, right? If you switched on a screen and my 7-footer had a guard on his back, we going in the post immediately. But now they do the opposite. If you switch on the screen and you got a small guy on your back, you got to get out of the rim, out of the way, because the point guard who got the ball got the big on him. Right. And now I can blow past that big. They're rather the point guard with the ball blow past a big versus get it to the 7-footer in the paint with a small guy on his back.
Yeah, that generates more
pisses me off, man.
It's not stupid, but that's just the way the game is played.
But also, you could say the opposite way, that like the bigs are better because they are more skilled, where they can do play inside and out. So when they do have matchups small, they do sometimes take to the post or they shoot threes, but they just more skilled. So it's like it's a tip and tap with both sides. Yes, 100%. Everybody's more skilled. It's evolution, bro.
I disagree. I think the rules have just become more lax. Like
no, the rules 100%. The league is more skilled today. It's evolution, bro. It's just the evolution, because if they didn't get more skilled, the game would go down. Like it's like with life. With life, you can watch movies on the internet. Back in the day, we had to do VCRs. The players are 100% more skilled than it is, and it's not like to the fault. We don't fault the era. The era.
And what aspects are they more skilled?
SB, going back to that evolution, do you think you more skilled than your uncles and your dad?
100%.
No. So you can go out there, plant a garden. You can go out there and build them over from scratch.
I have more tools, but that has to do it easier than they had to do at that point in time. Yeah.
You ain't never planted no collard greens before, have you?
Oh yeah, my grandma from Arkansas.
No, your grandma did. Have you ever planted collard greens?
Oh yeah, I learned from her. Yeah, we know how to do that. Yeah.
You know how to do it now.
Yeah. I did it a long time since I was little. I ain't gonna say I was good.
Exactly. But you're not better at it than your uncles, though.
But can my grandma set up a live stream and do sports talk like this? No.
So but
that's the point. It's generations.
You made a good point. Those are different skills. Does not necessarily mean you're more skilled.
It's different. Yeah, good point, Aaron. It's different skills, not more skilled.
But you can add to the evolution that we have today that I could probably plant the greens better and grow my stuff faster.
I guarantee you that when it comes to harvest, your greens ain't growing. I guarantee you.
It probably some hard ass greens. It ain't the real greens, but they gonna grow fast. They got a little plastic on them, but they still green.
Nah, give me your grandma any day. Give me your grandma any day.
Not for real. Like, but what aspects are they more skilled? Like, name 5 aspects.
Centers, they could do everything they do in the post. They could dribble like guards. They could shoot like guards. How many bigs was doing that? Not all. They was either inside or outside. Point blank. Period.
I think
we talk about 90s now. Early 2000s was like, because I think the greatest era of basketball is 2000 from 2010. It was a perfect mixture of everything. Every position was like at the top tier, and some of the greatest players that like 3 players in my top 10 was in that Duncan, Shaq, Kobe, and they was all in the conversation.
I would vote for that era too. I would vote for that era too.
It was a perfect balance of defense and offense and plays of inside and outside game.
And let me ask you a question real quick. Are you getting that? Because I think I know where you might be going. That the players of any era that this era is not necessarily more skilled, just that the players wasn't asked to do those things, so they didn't.
Yeah, I think they're 100% more skilled because if you look at
hold on, SB, I want to hear what Aaron got to say.
Okay.
I think it's a combination of the rules and the culture. You know what I'm saying? I feel like back then, like as time goes on, the league has become increasingly more an entertainment businesses rather than a sport. You know what I'm saying? That's why the offense has been going up like almost every year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so as time goes on, the refs allow certain things. You know what I'm saying? The coach becomes different. People start doing 360 windmill dunks. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an entertainment. It's a business. At the end of the day, they want to break in more money. You know what I'm saying? So,
but do you believe the athletes in the late '90s, early 2000s were capable of playing this play style? They just wasn't asked to do it.
That just wasn't, bro. Like
I agree with it. That's why I felt like I knew where you was coming from. I actually agree with that.
So you think
like, I'm a young boy
today?
Yeah, I think Arvydas Sabonis actually played like Joker when he was overseas before he came up with them bad knees. I think Vlade Divac had that same skill to play like Jokic.
David Robinson.
David Robinson definitely had the same skills that Giannis has. I mean, it was Yao Ming definitely could stretch it out to the three if he wanted to, but that's
2000. That's 2000. That's in 2000.
Yeah, but yeah, it was like a lot of people. Like people was hitting that jump shot, but they just wasn't able. I remember I went to a Charlotte Utah game, and when I seen them warming up, and I seen Greg Ostertag and Greg Foster stretching it out to the 3-point line doing warm ups, knocking it down, and I was like, "What the heck? They can hit that?" Like these big dudes could shoot back then, they just wasn't allowed to.
Oh, I think I got a video. Hold on.
Sam Perkins was hitting the three.
Sam Perkins shoot though.
Yeah, Devla Shrink was a 6'11" guy hitting the three. Like it was all over the place.
Who broke that barrier? Who get Dirk? Is it safe to say that Dirk gave Biggs the green light?
No.
To shoot?
I say
no.
Dirk.
It was David Stern.
Actually shooting that in that Indiana offense, he was asked to pull the three.
Who? Devla Shrimp?
Nah,
Chris. Who?
Big Smooth.
Oh, Sam Perkins for sure. Yeah. And everywhere he went, he was hitting the three. Even when he was with Seattle, he was hitting the three. Yeah.
There's been jump shooting bigs since the 60s, bro. There's been jump shooting bigs.
I think they give Dirk the credit because he showed that you can be that guy. Like he won an MVP and won a championship. So I think that's why Dirk got the green light.
Dirk got the credit because he was the first real crossover European star.
Yeah, because remember, we used to laugh about the European players. That's why people like everybody get overseas players love now, but people didn't get them Ginobili and them love like that in the early 2000s from like that.
And which is funny is because I don't think the European players are that much better than the ones that we was getting in the 90s and 2000s.
But the play style is different.
But the play style allows them to not get bullied the way we bullied them back in the day. Like they used to bully Dirk.
Yep.
Like Garnett, Tim Duncan, Chris Webber, man, we having our way with Dirk down there, right? And then it kind of shifted to where the play style was kind of going to where, hey, man, he's almost kind of like the alpha, right? I don't think Luka. We talked about this a long time ago. We said, man, I've seen Luka before. I seen Turkoglu play like Luka when he was with Orlando, and when they put the Cavs in 66-16. MVP LeBron James out of the playoffs. It was just Dwight Howard and Turkoglu. Turkoglu was playing a point forward, running a high screen and roll with Dwight, hitting that three, playing defense, everything. If they would have gave Turkoglu his own team and said, we're going to put 5 shooters around you, open up the lane, and let you take 30 shots a game, you can just play horse out there, take any shot you want, he would have had 25 and 10 assists as well, just like Luka.
I mean, to an extent, but he did go to the Raptors by himself. They didn't look too good, but you know.
But he was. By that time, his body was done, just like Luka's gonna be in about 5 or 6 years. I mean, come on, look at his body, man. They ain't built like us. They ain't got that African blood in them, man. So them bodies were down quick.
Mm-hmm. But I think like we go away from the fact of like because we think like the NBA got soft, but we got to think about what like because you did bring the entertainment fact, but what really changed the game was one street ball and then two international players actually getting good competing against us in Team USA. That's what changed the game. And people start think about it, add dynamic of street ball with the carrying and how people dribble and the international play with the 3-point shooting, a little fast pace in the Euro stepping. So I think I think they probably get more credit for why like the league is the way it is now because it got more popularized than
freaking
like the
David
league
Stern, man. David Stern destroyed it, man. He making money hand over fist. He did from a business standpoint, he did what he was supposed to do, man. But he ruined the game to an extent. That junk is trash, man.
I don't know, not to me. I still enjoy basketball, but I watch just basketball in general. Like I watch 2 random college teams play. If anything,
that's because you addicted. That's because you addicted to basketball. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like if you're addicted to crack, and then I start putting a lot of baking soda in it, you still go smoke it.
Right.
You just gonna be mad. This ain't hitting like it. This ain't hitting like what you usually give me. You still go smoke it, but you gonna be mad. There's no other alternative.
I enjoy it. I still think basketball. You know,
man. There's no defense and no post play. How can you enjoy? Like you can't enjoy it for real because it's not pure and uncut.
I mean, but you can say that about every sport though. It's the same thing with football.
Yeah.
They definitely changed the rules for the defense. Don't you shake your head? No, they definitely changed the rules for the defense. It's harder for the people to defend.
Hey, listen, I like that. I like my football to have a lot of points.
So why you don't feel that way about why you don't feel that way about basketball though?
This nigga Mel tweaking, bro. This nigga got crack in his pocket right now.
I mean, I know he. Hey, look, I know why he said that though, because I see that Chiefs logo behind him. He just really because Patrick Mahomes just protected this. He did. Yeah, as long as Patrick Mahomes protected, he fine. That's all that is.
Man, I was there when we had Elvis Gerback as a quarterback, bro. So. Listen,
I don't know. You got a guy now, though. You got a guy.
Hey, listen. So
you got the guy at that. I ain't gonna lie. You got the guy.
I mean, not, but for real, like I used to hate.
Don't pump his head up, man.
I'm a Chargers fan saying this, so I don't want to say it, but it's the truth.
And at the end of the game is 6-9. Like I don't like those games. You know what I'm saying? Give me some excitement.
There's a difference if it's 6-9 because of defense, and then 6-9 because they.
Nobody gonna watch that though.
Yeah,
I'll take a defense game.
We used to watch football game. Yeah. We used to watch the Ravens and the Steelers every year, twice a year, and have them daggone 10-7, 6-9, 15-18 ball games, and loved it because the stars was on defense. You got Ray Lewis, you got Joey Porter. They hitting, they running the ball, big bus coming through the hole.
On the other side.
Man, I love it, man. Forget them freaking quarterbacks.
But y'all gotta think about this though. It's more casual fans than the actual fans of the sport, so they gotta please them.
Exactly. We just said it an hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still appreciate a shootout. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that a couple years ago, that Rams Chiefs game, that was one of the greatest games I had ever seen. I still appreciate that, but I'm still.
It's got to be a shootout because the players dictated it, not a shootout because they changed the rules to facilitate a shootout. Like right now, we got players that ain't even all-stars scoring 50 points a game in the NBA. Right. Go ahead.
Do you think the problem is not the offense and defense? I think the problem is that we don't have no more rivalries like how we used to. I think that's the problem.
You see the NBA trying to bring that back with the.
I think they're going to because like a lot of these new players are built with that old mentality of smack talking and I'm that guy type stuff. Because like honestly, like you fall for the face of the guy. LeBron more cool, collective, but like a lot of these new players they came in the league now are with that old mentality. So I think
what killed the rivalries was free agency because I'm not even. I don't care if y'all don't like them because next year I'm gonna play for somebody else. I'm going with a check going. You know, you had guys who actually. I imagine if Bird like left the Celtics and went to the Heat, like you just wouldn't see that.
Right.
I think something that'll help though, like get it back to that super competitive nature, is like the guys that are coming up. So, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Bam Adebayo,
the Grizzlies, because they talking crazy.
All those guys, like if they stay with their teams for like the long term, and then they start building, you know what I'm saying, and you got a continuous matchup with those guys, like I think that'll start bringing the competitive nature back because you're gonna always have Ja Morant and the Grizzlies versus, like now they're trying to build the rivalry with the Warriors because what happened in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have Ja Morant and the Grizzlies, or you're gonna have Giannis and the Bucks, or you're gonna have Bam and the Heat, or JT and Jaylen Brown and the Celtics. As long as once you start bringing loyalty back, you'll bring rivalries back.
Right.
Hey man, how the heck did Aaron share his screen on this?
I'm the goat nigga. See, these one of the
How
skills.
did you do that, man? Go ahead, man. I ain't no guest can do that, man. Go ahead.
I know how to play collard greens. You know how to set up a live. I know how to share screen type shit. You know what I'm saying?
All right, yeah.
Go ahead.
Guarantee. Moms and them couldn't share the screen on somebody else's podcast though.
It's gonna be
You gonna flip it for us? Why do we gotta watch this, Aaron? Why?
Hold on, I made it. Check it.
You made this. Well, turn the screen, man.
How do I do that?
Oh, you don't even know how to do that. Oh man.
Did Joker not get the respect that he deserves?
No, he's underappreciated and he's disrespected.
He is my MVP right now.
He's a subpar.
Wilt was willing to do whatever is necessary. Heck, he led the league in assists one time at the center.
And then he was smart. You couldn't trick him.
This man trying to say Wilt and Jokic is the same player. I'm gone.
No, I'm saying that Wilt at his peak was just as good a passer.
I believe. Wilt was a monster, Aaron. We get it, man. He not the GOAT though.
He not.
He is the GOAT.
He's not. Okay, I got a question. Look, when people say Wilt is the GOAT, why did it take for him to stop being selfish for his team to actually start winning? Because when he's put up all the numbers, he lost. And when they said he wins, he went away from everything. So that's telling me you as a player was holding everybody back because you were selfish.
That's not true. That's not. First of all, you can't even sustain.
Okay,
if you ask all his teammates, you don't want to go in this league, bro.
Okay, no. Okay, now question: Was Wilt numbers higher or lower when he won or he lost? Was it higher or lower? His stats.
Depends on his
chips. No. When he won his chips. When he won his chip. Answer the question.
When he won his first chip.
Was his stats lower?
So obviously, if Michael Jordan's numbers went down when he won championships too. What are you talking about?
What you mean, Mike? Every time Michael Jordan won a championship, he led the league in scoring. What are you talking about?
He still wasn't averaging 37 points per game.
Yes, he was averaging high 30s plenty of times. His stats
he was averaging 37 points per game,
bro.
In the playoffs, he was, yo. In the playoffs, he was averaging 35.
What are you talking about, bro?
In the playoffs, he's averaging 36.
Close
I think
to
35.
It, but I'm saying that Michael Jordan number range was probably like around like 27 to 35. Yes, he was still doing the same thing. Wilt was averaging like 50 and 30. When he was winning, it dropped to like 30 and like 10, 15.
30 and 20, you mean? When he was winning, he was dropping 30 points, 20 rebounds, 10
blocks. But on the regular, he was putting up like 45 and 25.
It depends. First of all, hold on. It depends on what team you're talking about, because when he won his first chip, he was on a completely different team than when he was averaging 50 points a game. Second of all, he had like 8 different coaches in the span of 13 years. Third of all, he didn't even have the same roster when he was on the Warriors when he played. Bro, imagine having 8 coaches.
And I'm hearing excuses. He
asked me a question. I'm answering his question. He said why does vote numbers change? I'm saying that vote numbers change because there was lack of consistency.
Out of those 8 coaches, how many times Wilt was the problem?
How about you tell me that?
Because apparently a lot.
Hold on. Out of those 8 coaches, Wilt was known to be selfish. 8 coaches, 2 of them were rookies. One of them was a literal crackhead. Only 2 of them were Hall of Famers.
That's the era that was in. You making excuses because another excuse because Bill Russell was whooping him all the time. Facts.
Say one more time.
Bill Russell was whooping them all the time.
Bill Russell had consistency. That's the thing. Bill Russell didn't have.
We had this conversation a couple months ago.
13 years.
Yeah,
bro, you asked me a question.
He said Wilt is a GOAT because he's looking at just the stats alone. Like,
I'm looking at what.
Hey, Aaron, let me ask you a question.
One player can bring to one team. Wilt Chamberlain.
He only got 2 rings and was putting up 2K numbers. That's bad. What are you talking about?
How you gonna discredit a man? Hold on. I'm answering his question. How you gonna discredit a man for averaging 50 and 20
and losing because he lost,
getting his team to the playoffs and losing against a dynasty?
He lost. And then you know for a fact the league that when you put up the passing thing about him leading the league in assists, you know why he led the league in assists? Because they said you're selfish. So he did that to prove a point.
And he won a chip. And
That's bad though. That's bad as a player.
He won a champion. He won a champion.
Let me put a pause on that real quick, man, just to get y'all thoughts. Because we talked about this earlier when we first started, but y'all wasn't on when we talked about this. What y'all think about Kyrie requesting that trade?
Get his money. That's it. He tried to get an extension. They put incentives in the contract. He said no. I know a lot of Lakers fans want to go to the Lakers, but I'm telling people that whoever get him that extension, that's the first place he's going to. So
supposedly. So Jay,
it won't be a small market though. He ain't going to play for a small market.
I think he would if they give him that for the money. Yes, he will. Yeah, for that extension with no incentives. Think about it. If Minnesota, if the Lakers say I'll give you a contract, but if you got all these incentives in it, and Minnesota say I'll give you this contract, no incentives for the next 4 years, and the exact money you want, he's going to Minnesota.
Yeah, they were trying to put all types of stuff in there. You got to play this many games. You have to do X, Y, and Z. All this stuff. They were trying to put all that in his contract, and like for what, man? Like why are you putting all those stipulations on my contract, man? So supposedly they gave him they gave him an extension, Jay, with a bunch of bull crap in it. He turned it down, and that's when he requested the trade.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
And I'm with him.
What's crazy is
hold on, did LaCour just hit that boom more?
No,
that's my phone.
Yeah.
Let me play this in the background. There's no sound. Let me play in the background, bro. Come on, bro.
Aaron, I gotta play another Wilt video.
No, there's no sound. Y'all can still talk. I just want y'all to, you know what I'm saying?
We don't want it, bro. Wilt is Wilt is like number 10. Wilt is number. I'm gonna tell you this. Wilt is number 10 and 11 on my list. There's nothing you gonna show me that's gonna change that.
All right, and okay, then what's the?
We're not even. We on a different topic now.
Anybody got him higher than 10? Anybody got Wilt higher than 10?
Hell no.
The thing is, y'all saying
that's me being respectful. I debate between him and Hakeem.
I'll debate Michael Jordan and Kobe then.
Hey, top 10 and getting ass for sure.
No, he number one at that. He the GOAT at that.
I'll debate.
What did he say? 30,000 women?
Well, not even top 50.
No,
stop playing. Stop playing.
Michael Jordan not even top 100.
I ain't never seen an NBA player with so many mystical stories. He like the Tooth Fairy or something with all the hoop stories he got.
They can't prove that 100 point game. They can't even prove that.
What? You can't prove all of Michael Jordan's 50-point games. That doesn't make any sense.
It's on tape. What are you talking about? It's on tape. What are you talking about?
So all of Michael Jordan's
the games on tape.
No, they're not. No, they're not, nigga. No, they're not.
Yes, bro. I'm from Chicago. Every game
Michael Jordan's 50-point games and 30-point games on tape.
Yes, they all his.
No, you can't.
Yes,
that's not true.
But I hear every Michael Jordan, the most iconic game you can get. Wilt 100-point game is his most iconic game.
You act like cameras. You act like they had. Oh my god, this nigga's an idiot, bro.
They had cameras, bro.
They had cameras. What are you talking about?
They had cameras, but you act like everybody had a fucking iPhone XR in their pocket, nigga.
No, the game was recorded, right?
So
it was the 60s.
So we imagine.
You know how hard nigga, this shit was steam power, nigga.
So we going off what people say.
To oil up the gears.
No. You said all the Jordan games on tape.
So we imagined all of Mike's games.
To take
we imagined all of Mike's games. Is that what happened?
Magic.
And what a cooking emoji. I mean, what a cooking.
Put the cooking.
So we imagined all of Mike's games.
So you watch all of Mike's games.
Hey, why do Aaron always come do this to us, man?
You watch all of Mike's games?
I can go find footage.
You can find footage of every single one of Mike's games.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't because not all of his games were recorded, bro.
You know Jordan came in the league after Magic and Bird. You know Jordan came in the league after Magic and Bird. Magic and Bird popularized the league at that time.
You can look this up. This is a fact. You can look this up. You can't find all his games online. This is a fact.
You can find all his most iconic games.
But you know what? We ain't got film on
100-point game. Well, we got the first half, but we don't got the second half.
We got a picture of him with a piece of paper though.
Right.
You have the radio broadcast.
I can say anything. I work at a radio station. I get on a radio station, say anything.
So your biggest claim for not being the GOAT is that you didn't see him drop 100.
No, it's not. I literally got a whole bunch of reasons why.
What's your number one reason that he didn't win?
Look, I'm gonna tell you
because MJ is the GOAT. That's why. Like,
I'm
somebody's already in there.
Hold on.
I'm gonna tell you my top 10, and I'm not putting.
No. Give me one at a time, and then I'll just.
No, Mike LeBron, Kareem, Kobe, Shaq, Duncan, Magic, Bird, Bill Russell, and I debate between Wilt and Hakeem at 10. And sometimes I put Hakeem over him. It depends on how I'm feeling that day.
Okay.
I'm putting David Robinson above both of them.
No, I can't put David Robinson over who. I can't put David Robinson over them. Can't do it. I can't put David Robinson. My other people had him: Steph, Oscar, Giannis, KD, Moses, Dr. J, Dirk, KG, Jerry West, or Elgin Baylor. I can't put David Robinson over them either.
Damn.
So it sounds like you got David Robinson top 25 somewhere.
Probably somewhere in that range. Yeah.
That's fair.
That's disrespectful.
That ain't
Not
disrespectful.
really.
All right, so hold on. Just do centers. Just do centers.
He a top 10 center.
He a top 10 center. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. No debate that. No debate that.
And okay, include and you don't think Jokic and Embiid will pass him? In your personal top 10.
You think they will? Yeah, they could. They're still playing. I hate when people say like they'll never do something like, bro, if they still playing, they have.
Yeah. So I mean, so what would Embiid and Jokic have to do to pass David Robinson?
I think Joker might got him. I think Joker got him, especially with them MVPs and him winning and him being a guy longer than David Robinson has been, because David Robinson ain't really become like David Robinson was the guy, but he ain't really become the guy winning until he got a young man named Tim Duncan next to him.
So let me play the video, my nigga. There's no sound. There's no sound in the background.
We seen all. We got
it's
YouTube.
No, bro, I'm telling you,
we don't want to see nothing about no Wilt.
I made this video,
Wilt, man.
Aaron,
First of all,
let me ask you a question.
MJ is ass compared to Wilt. I don't give a fuck. MJ,
Wilt
is 1v1. MJ
let me ask you a question.
Wilt would shit.
That's cap.
He would take an open shit on Michael Jordan's big ball.
Hey, I respect that you respect the legends though, but I respect you respect the legends. But
bro, he would pick up MJ, move him out the way, and dunk on him.
Hey, you know I can play videos of Wilt. I can play videos of Wilt post moves, and he dribbled like WNBA players today. You know that, right? I can look up.
Those are the rules. Like those are the rules. MJ would have to dribble the same way.
Do you think Brittany Griner can survive in the 60s and 70s?
She gonna be Will Chamberlain. She gonna be Will Chamberlain. She gonna be Will Chamberlain in the 60s.
I don't think MJ would survive in today's league. How about that?
Okay.
Jordan will average 30. What are you talking about?
Jordan will average 12 in today's league.
Ooh, well, you know, you want to know how we know? You want to know how we know that's not true?
How is that true?
Because we seen his clone Kobe Bryant destroy this area.
And then hold on, wait. And then when you say, and then look, first of all, Jordan will learn the 3-point shot. Cause I know what he's gonna say. He can't shoot threes, but we already seen the guy. He might not. He ain't as clutch as Mike, but he's still killing. And then DeMar DeRozan, who are my boys right now, and killing now, only shoot mid ranges.
DeMar DeRozan is better than Michael Jordan.
Okay, I mean, you're just trolling.
Aaron,
now you're just trolling.
Yeah, you trolling.
Yeah, I got a question. You took an ancestry test and you realized that you were one of Wilt's 30,000 grandchildren, right?
He had to. I had to for sure.
Because there's no way somebody advocates for Wilt Chamberlain. Nobody advocates for Wilt Chamberlain this much without being related to the man.
Mm-hmm.
I think those who played and saw Wilt play would advocate just much.
No, because
Wilt you're 19.
Right, and even Wilt said.
So if I was advocating for MJ, you'd be like, "Oh yeah,
wait, your boy, who that you averaging for, Wilt even advocated that Elgin Baylor was the best player in the league majority of the time when he played with Elgin Baylor. You know that, right?
Prove it.
Look it up. If you watch the Wilt historian, go ahead. And look
I have.
So you know what he said about Elgin Baylor.
He said, I think that Elgin Baylor was just as good as any player to ever play. He never said that he was the best player to play in the league at the time.
Elgin Baylor was the Jordan of his era. What are you talking
about Wilt, bro? Just bet it.
Hey, hold on.
No, my nigga. I mean, sorry.
Buddy, talking about Wilt is 19?
Yeah,
man. If I was talking about MJ, y'all wouldn't bat an eye.
Seen nothing.
Wait a minute. Time out.
If I was talking about MJ, y'all wouldn't bat an eye. So I do not want to hear it. If I was talking about MJ the same way, y'all wouldn't bat an eye.
We seen it. You ain't see no Wilt, nothing.
Hold on.
I didn't see MJ either.
Talking about you was born in like 2002?
No, I was born 2003, 4.
2003. The Big T Soldier Boy era.
That man
He ain't
learned
see
about 9/11
Will.
from a
He
textbook.
ain't see Will.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy?
He like 2K. He say, man, my player averaging 50 and 20 like Will Chamberlain. He gotta be the GOAT like my player. That's all he doing.
No,
Like,
hold
stop
on.
it, bro.
Hey, Aaron, let me ask you a non-sports related question, man. Who's the greatest rapper of all time, in your opinion?
Kendrick.
All
Either
right,
Kendrick or Biggie.
Hey, take that man off there. Take him off.
Kendrick Lamar?
No, I ain't got. He said Big though.
Kendrick Big.
Big was a safety answer though. Big was a safety answer.
Right.
My top five. Kendrick. There's no order. Just based off of what they accomplished in my music taste. Kendrick, Biggie, Andre 3000, Kanye, and Drake. That's it.
That was be the answer. And then obviously Big. The reason why you overhyping the Big situation, because Big was great, but Big died too early, so we necessarily really know what he did. He really only dropped one album. Like I tell everything with the Big situation. If 50 Cent would have died and Get Rich or Die Trying came out, he'd been labeled the greatest rapper of all time. Because we don't know what Big would have did, but I respect his lyricism. But you can't never play him over a guy like Pac or even Wayne because they put in more work to him. But if you just going on one album alone, yeah, Big might be up there.
His musicality.
It's only because they put in more work. It's only because they put in more work.
Hold on. Hands down, bro. I just heard. Hold on. You didn't have Wayne in your top 5?
No, Wayne is one for me. What are you talking about?
No, not you, Aaron.
Nah, he's top 10 though. Why would I have my top 5? Everybody's top 5 is subjective. I bet. Man. Yo, no, who's your top 5 rappers, bro? You got Wayne in your top 5?
Wayne won. Wayne won for me.
You got Lil Wayne in your top 5, Mel?
Man, you don't want to ask an old head like me, man. So
that man gonna say Rakim.
Oh
he gonna say MF Doom. He gonna be like MF Doom. MF Doom. No, MF Doom cold, but he cold. He was like LL Cool J with the
y'all gonna be mad at me. Y'all gonna be mad at me, right? Because the first time I heard GOAT, greatest of all time, the first time I ever heard it in sports or in music was when LL Cool J said it.
Yep.
So just for him bringing it up, I'm putting LL number 1.
Only Bucky had LL, right? Not later in the career. Swole butted himself up. LL. No, Buggy had LL.
Hey, he was able to survive.
Kango LL. Yeah,
he was Kango LL.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And he went diss and beat Cannabis in a diss. You know, Jay-Z lost his diss. You know what I mean? So he lost it bad. Nas opened his cheeks wide open. So
I doubt it, but go ahead.
So I'm going.
You said doubt it.
I'm not gonna rank them. I'm just gonna give you my 5, not in any order. I'm going LL. I'm definitely going Rakim. I'm definitely going Nas. I'm definitely going Tupac, and I'm definitely going Biggie.
Oh, he didn't have Lil Wayne in his top 5. Oh, get him out of here!
He said he old. He said he like older music though.
You're 19.
I've been spitting nothing but facts, and y'all just dismiss it. Oh, he's 19. You know what he's talking about.
Music. First of all, you can't. A music opinion is not facts. It's just what you grow and listen to.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about in terms of basketball. I've been spitting nothing but facts.
You didn't say nothing factual. You just showed us Will throwing the full court pass. Like everybody throw a full court pass.
Yo, Mel, play the video. I'm trying to play.
I'm not playing no video, man. But
there's no sound.
Listen, I'm glad you went to the music when you start talking about GOAT, and this is the reason why you can't really just rely on stats, because if you look at statistical and how many records have been sold, Eminem should be the GOAT.
Yep.
Right. So Eminem is the Wilt or the Kareem or the LeBron.
He say Eminem in his top 5.
Michael Jordan is the Eminem of the NBA.
No.
Michael Jordan is Eminem. They're the same. They're the same person.
Michael Jordan mastered
Vanilla Ice.
He mastered more of the game than anybody I've seen play it.
Michael Jordan is the.
You don't gotta hate on Mike, bro. I don't know what Mike did to you.
Cause man, Will is his grandfather, man.
They gotta be. He gonna turn his camera and look just like Otto Porter, boy. He look just like Will too.
Yeah. Hey, I ain't hear Dino say nothing. Dino, man, what you think, man?
About what? We already had.
Bro, every point these niggas make is just dumb. Like you don't know what you're talking about. You're just speaking out of your ass, bro. Like no offense, but you don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, Aaron, where you from? Where you from? New York. You from New York?
Yeah, why?
I can hear it in your voice. All right, you from New York?
Oh, he don't know good basketball when he watched the Knicks, so he don't know good basketball.
Hey, I was listening to Ticket TV channel. I thought I heard you on there getting cooked one night, Aaron, like last week. Was that you? On Ticket? You don't listen to Ticket TV? You don't? Okay, all right. That's a funny channel, man. Y'all should all listen to Ticket, man. I'll be laughing. SB, you used to be on Ticket a lot, didn't you?
No, I know of Ticket. I never was on it. I think I was on kind of like one time, but yeah, I know about Ticket. Yeah.
He hilarious, man. Yeah. He funny. But I could have sworn, Aaron, I heard you on that one night, man, because you got a voice that kind of, I guess all dudes from New York sound like that, man. But I could have sworn it was you, man.
No, bro.
And I felt bad for you. I was about to join in, man. They was cooking the heck out of you, man. It was filleting. You was on there talking about Wilt.
That wasn't me.
He know that was him. He know that was him.
I haven't been online in like I don't even know who that is. Big Ticket TV.
He said Big Ticket TV. He know who he is. He trying to cap. It was him. It was him on that game. Cause it do be a dude named Aaron on there though.
I swear it wasn't me, bro.
Man,
I wouldn't cap because I don't get cooked. I got nothing to be afraid of, bro.
You've been cooked like 4 times a day, bro.
Yeah. You pretty much get cooked
name one. First of all,
you're getting cooked now.
All of you guys have Michael Jordan's nuts in your mouth, so of course you're gonna think I'm getting cooked.
Jordan wasn't my goat.
What you say?
Slow cook.
Jordan was not my goat at all.
You got LeBron's left nut. You got LeBron's left nut in your mouth, and Michael Jordan's right nut in your hand.
Even if you got Wilt in your 5, you put him in the highest 5. He's not greater than Mike, LeBron, or Kareem.
If we're talking about,
he's not better than Kareem. He's not better than Kareem.
Again, understanding greatness and having a favorite player is 2 different things. A lot of Jordan fans and LeBron fans can't understand that. Like.
Mm-hmm.
People who know me know my all-time favorite player ever is David Robinson.
I could tell too.
Yeah, the Admiral, left-handed, silky smooth.
Nigga ass.
Crazy.
I'm joking. Nigga shitty.
We see. And we seen David Robinson 70-point game.
That Robinson had a quadruple double too.
Yeah, he did. I seen that, and he actually, he got MVP that season too.
Booker did it. Don't matter.
This is all we seen Wilt do.
That's it.
Don't matter. 70 points. Devin Booker did it.
I seen Wilt average 50 and get put out the first round.
If you're 50 don't lead the wins, man.
But that's the point though. You said by who? If you can't remember about who, that should tell you a lot more.
I do. You don't.
Who was it about?
I'm trying to prove you don't know what you're talking about. You just say, "Oh, look, he's jumping 50. He got out of the first round. Michael Jordan's the best. I like Michael Jordan's nuts in my mouth." Like, bro, like you don't know what you're talking about, bro.
It sounds like you're doing more whining than talking facts.
He's such a New Yorker. I can hear him, bro.
Yeah.
Strap your Yankee up and do better, man.
Don't put him in a category, man. What part of New York you from, Aaron?
I'm from Queens.
I knew it. I was just about to say it too.
That's what y'all was the first dudes wear them Prada flip flops, them Prada shoes back in the what was it, early 2000s. Y'all was doing that. Well, how old was you when y'all was wearing Prada shoes?
I was a baby.
Oh yeah,
he probably got some Timbs on right now with no shoelaces in them. He don't know what he talking about.
I was an infant
with the New York fitted cock to the right.
This nigga has a thong on. This nigga has a Michael Jordan thong on.
Bro, I'm glad that my favorite player is not nowhere near the conversation. Hey, I'm glad my favorite player is not nowhere near the conversation, so I can actually have like an honest critique on like the go. My favorite player is Derrick Rose, so he nowhere near the conversation. He nowhere near the conversation.
Yeah, that nigga shit.
I know. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say he trash.
No, he's shitty, right? No,
I wouldn't say that. He had a but he's nowhere. If you talk the GOAT conversation, yeah, he's nowhere near that.
Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real for a second though. Let's be real. Without them injuries, Derrick Rose was on his way to being a top 5 point guard of all time. And if Derrick Rose don't get hurt, it would have been hell to pay for CP3 and Steph Curry. They wouldn't have stood a chance against Derrick Rose.
But
Derrick Rose was standing toe to toe with LeBron and Wade on the Heat
by himself.
Come on, man.
Rose my favorite player because I'm from the city, so it was like I'm from Chicago. To see somebody from here get drafted here and then bring the team back to prom, that's why I'm more of a fan of him than anything. We still say Joe. Yeah, we still say Joe.
By himself, he was by himself.
Yes, I mean, he didn't.
For the most part, he was by himself.
Yeah,
Luol Deng stayed hurt,
and Joakim Noah
stayed hurt.
Listen.
The LeBron stopper who LeBron always
Joakim Noah. He was hurt in the playoffs when y'all played the Heat.
Bro, you know why Derrick Rose won that MVP? Because Ding, Noah, and Boozer was hurt the majority of the year. He led us to 60 win by himself. Joakim Noah became Joakim Noah because Derrick Rose was out and he kept the team relevant. Luol Deng got more credit because he kept the team relevant when D Rose was out. Jimmy Butler became Jimmy Butler because he stepped up when Derrick Rose was out. When Derrick Rose was there, they was not those players that we thinking of now. You gotta understand. I was watching this. You gotta understand that.
I hate Aaron. Look. When I seen Derrick Rose in his first playoff appearance against Boston,
that was crazy.
Nobody was helping him out except Ben Gordon off the bench.
Yep.
He may have still had Kurt Heinrich then. I can't remember.
We still had Captain Kirk, but he's on the
okay.
bench,
Yeah, but Ben Gordon was killing off the bench. I remember one game, his first game, Derrick Rose almost had 40. The next game, Rondo might have had 40. Next game, Ben Gordon might have had 40. It was ridiculous. Ray Allen
dropped 50 on us.
That was crazy, man.
Nah, he ain't have help. It was all D Rose.
Hey, Mel.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put a ball on this, man. We had 2.5.
Play
that man video and put a ball on it.
Oh my goodness! Look at these.
It sounds like some little suckers should be on there.
Hey, no, look at the title. No. Look at the title. It said criminally underrated bag. He said Will had a bag. Look at the bag.
That look like Boban out there.
Look at that bag. The music ain't even the bag. Look at the bag, man. Oh,
that's Kareem. Just put on Kareem.
Look at this bag. Look at this bag.
Hold on.
Did Kareem just block that?
This man got a Rudy Gobert bag. Oh, get him, Rudy. Get a post.
Bro, you ain't never got Harlem Globe trying to highlight it.
Hold on.
What is he doing, bro? What is he doing?
That's a spin move right there.
That's just, he keeps doing the same one time.
Bro, that's not a bag, bro.
What can you do? What can you do?
That's just being the biggest guy on the court, bro.
Yeah.
That's Bill Russell.
Bill Russell didn't even put his hands up, bro.
This is high school.
Them ain't even contest.
I know, that's high school. That was high school. That's NBA. That's Willis Reed.
Oh,
that's high school.
Oh, Super Travel.
Bro, this music killing me.
I know, man.
Bill Russell.
Sassy jazz music, bro. Bro, this not a bag, bro.
It's not a bag, man.
See, people like Aaron. This is the reason why Wilton don't get disrespect.
He put real like
not tripping. I'm watching it. That's not a bag.
I mean, it was a bag for the era, but compared to now, no, bro. This is basic basketball, bro.
I know, but who can stop it? Who can stop this? He's 7'3", 300 pounds. Who can stop this?
That's saying that his size. That's his size.
Exactly, bro. Bro, we said the same. Bro, Shaq was 7'1" for his 260 pounds. Don't say the same thing about him.
Whole ball stop.
Yao Ming, 7'5". No one said
nobody got Yao Ming in the top 100. What are you talking
exactly.
about?
So it's not just his size that brought him to his
Tim Duncan.
Hey man, you got this posted on Facebook somewhere? I want to watch this again.
Hey, this is the spot we didn't know we needed.
Bro, everything he did was under the rim dunk and a fade. He only got 2 moves.
Oh,
man. As the GOAT. That ball fake didn't even work, bro. was that? What was that?
Bro, he's 7'3", 300 pounds. No matter what he does, he's gonna score.
When I do that split shot, he can hit the hoop.
Yeah.
How is he not gonna score? Like, I don't understand. Like, what's your point? He doesn't need a beat. First of all, he has a bag. He doesn't need a bag because he's 7'3".
Bro, he won't
Hey,
play today.
Hey, Will, permission granted to use your left hand.
He didn't need his left hand. That's
he can't use it. He couldn't. What are you talking about?
Permission granted to use your left hand, Will.
Hold on, bro.
Please turn this
Look,
off.
bro. This why this era get disrespected because y'all come saying blasphemous. Like, yes, he was nice for his era. He was great for his era, bro. But like,
And he kept it out
This
the whole time.
is college. The black and white stuff you see is mostly college.
What are 3 seconds in the lane?
I didn't know we had to put college highlights in to prove a point.
Because only
High
2%
school
of this
highlights.
film exists on camera, you dumbass.
Nah, bro, you didn't prove nothing.
Look at this. Look at this.
Here's
Hold
why.
on, no, hold on. Look at this. Look at this. I made this shit. That would be a foul in the 60s, my nigga. Foul. They calling a foul on that too. Look at this offensive foul.
Yeah, I 100% believe you just.
Where was the foul?
You just see stats and think players good off their stats.
Nigga.
I mean, that's a good point. They wouldn't
Where
let
was
Will,
the foul, bro?
they wouldn't let you. They wouldn't let you use his whole advantage. I get you on that.
Nigga,
I'm with you on that.
You couldn't. There's a pass fake right there. Will couldn't carry the ball in the post. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot more easier to maneuver in today's game.
Yeah,
and that's a hell of a film right there where the players are in color, but the fans are in black and white.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's probably from his 100 point. That's from his 100 point game.
Yeah. Now, Aaron, you make a good point.
Oh wait, no, you missed the best move. You missed the best move. Hold on. One of the best moves. One of the best moves.
How long is this shit?
Something that he used frequently. I'm about to post it on
Y'all
YouTube.
ain't noticed all these highlights have been played 4 times.
I seen the same globe try to highlight 3 times.
He act like we don't know globe try to basketball is fake, but you got globe try to highlights here.
I put 3 globe try to highlight.
Can he just go in the paint and stay down there the whole time?
Bro, look,
No,
he's the only black person.
That's high school. That's high school. This is NBA.
Hey, I'm right. He the only black.
There's a black person guarding him right there. Willis Reed, one of the greatest centers of all time. This is a Globetrotter highlight. I don't have a lot to work with. That's Nate Thurman, 7'1". That's Bill Russell, 6'10".
And can we stop?
Please, I mean, you can if you want.
Now we've been wanting to.
Every time you say, "Hold on, wait, this is the best part. This is the best part right here."
I'm just saying, bro. Like,
off of that, who is he better than? Off of what I just seen.
Now before you get into that,
look, it's not. First of all, hold on. It's not how you. It's not how you put the ball in the basket. It's if you can put the ball in the basket.
Hold on, we about to end. Hold on, what you say, Jay?
First of all, let me tell you this, yo. First of all, I want to commend you. It takes a lot to go through a whole lot of that bullshit you went through to edit that. Listen. Hey, listen, you are dedicated to prove the point that is not provable that this man was a guy. You listen. We just watched 7 minutes of nothing, and so it probably took an hour and a half to edit it. Man, we appreciate your being true to the.
You want Will Chamberlain to do 3 clean?
Hey, them highlight reels did not prove that he was a coach. That didn't prove nothing, bro. That didn't prove nothing to me. Bro.
What do you want Will Chamberlain to do? 3 hezzies in a row?
Off of that video, John Shire would not recruit him to do.
If you could put the ball in the basket, my point is, hold on.
If you send the
Tim Duncan was dropping 20 points.
He won't get recruited.
Bro, Tim Duncan was dropping 20 points per game, and he was 6'11".
He said he would not get recruited.
That's not the D1 athlete, brother.
Tim Duncan was dropping 20 points per game, and he wasn't nearly as big or as athletic as Will Chamberlain.
All right, man, we out, man. We gotta go.
Tim Duncan had the same bag. Tim Duncan literally had the same bag. What are you talking about?
Hey, SB, man, appreciate it, bro.
Tim Duncan,
we out,
Tim
baby.
Duncan not had the same